This game and the stream broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL. Any broadcast of this game is intended exclusively for the benefit of the North Catholic Sports Network audience. Any use, rebroadcast, or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of the WPIAL is prohibited.
Trib Live High School Sports Network is the official video and audio streaming partner of the WPIAL. We broadcast over 2,000 sporting events each year and cover 17 sports in over 170 schools. At HSSN, you'll find the latest in high school sports news, live and archive broadcasts, scores, standings, and much more. Trib Live High School Sports Network, your high school sports leader. All season, every season.
And we are coming to you live from the Mars Athletic Complex for this section matchup between the East Allegheny Wildcats and the North Catholic Trojans. Hello and welcome inside the stadium and onto the field. My name is Alex Brown.
And I'm Ryan Berry.
And together we are your hosts for the Trojan Game Day Show, and we are proud to bring it to you live on the North Catholic Sports Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. And Ryan, before we get too much into this game, let's talk about what happened last week for both these clubs.
Yep, let's start North Catholic. A 49-0 defeat of Valley, just dominated from start to finish. Jason Singer with a stellar performance of 5 touchdowns. Leaves dropped 3 offensive touchdowns.
More than stellar, right?
Yeah, explosive.
Yeah.
Is that our badge adjective for you? But defense was the key to that game, Alex. Also, it's been the key all year. In 3 games this year, they've allowed 0 points, so they hope they can keep that going this week.
And as you said, Ryan, defense has been phenomenal. Only giving up, 16 points in their first 4 matches?
17 points against Blackhawk.
Was it 17? 17 points, let's say, against Blackhawk. But that's fantastic defense this year, and they're building off what they did last year. Now you're playing a team this week in East Allegheny that last week they beat Burrell.
Yep, they did beat Burrell. Burrell is an 0-5 team, but they got to win. When they score 30 points or more, they win. They're 2-2 this year. They're 40 points in their first win, and they scored 30 points in the last one. So if they can score, they're I guess, a problem in any game.
You don't want to let them score, and that's going to be the object of the defense, because this is a defensive game, a defensive team in North Catholic. But, Ryan, before we do that, let's look at the upcoming schedule for North Catholic.
Yep, they have a game coming up against Hopewell. That game, or they're not coming up. They won 16-0. Of course, then they went on to Ambridge, 41-0 win. Then a last-second win against Blackhawk, 18-17. And then, of course, the Valley, 49-0 win. But, Alex, let's look ahead now.
Yep, look ahead. Burrell, they play next week. The same team we previously mentioned that East Allegheny beat last week. They're 0-5 as of this point. They stink, so the Trojans should beat them. Then they go and they play South Park. That'll be a tougher matchup, but still, this is the toughest test the Trojans have the rest of the year tonight against East Allegheny. So it's going to be a good one.
Yep, it should be the Super Bowl for them because it's tonight, and it's a game they need to win. It's homecoming game. You know East Allegheny is going to want to spoil this one.
Our next one on this airwaves is 3 weeks from today as Deer Lakes comes to town.
Yep, another one on NC Sports Network. It should be a fun game. Deer Lakes, they can score a lot, but they also get scored on a lot. So North Catholic should be able to have that game fairly easily.
And then they go down to Freeport, and then following that, on October the 29th, Derry comes all the way. They make the 2-hour drive to Mars, and that should be another one where North should go into the break before playoffs, feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yep, it's always good to finish at home, but now let's look at the other sports, Alex.
Yes, and as we look at the other sports, Ryan, you said the other sports.
Yeah, we can look at some of the volleyball games.
Yeah, all the volleyball games. We've got volleyball coming up this Tuesday.
Yep. Soccer's has some games coming, so make sure to check those out. We're going to be scrimmaging some of the volleyball games. Alex had the call on the last one, so make sure to keep your eyes open for that.
Hockey's coming up, a scrimmage last week that you guys won, Ryan, 4-1.
4-1. Alex, you had the call on that one also.
Against Bishop Canevin as the hockey season starts up in a couple of weeks. And as we look at this game today, Ryan, What's the object for North Catholic?
North Catholic, they have to come out strong. They have to get a lead against Blackhawk, because not Blackhawk, East Allegheny. If you give them anything, they're going to take it and they're going to run with it. So make sure you start strong, get an early lead, and then don't look back.
I think when you look at this week, penalties is the key. You need to limit the penalties if you're North Catholic, and that's going to be a huge part of this game.
Yep, Alex, now let's look at some of the players to watch for this game.
My player to watch is number 8 in your program, Chase Harrington. He had a rushing touchdown last week. He's had a rushing touchdown almost every game, and he's been fantastic. And look for him to show out pretty impressively in this game tonight.
Mine is Liam Straub, Alex. He has been explosive recently. He had 3 touchdowns last week against Valley, and he can turn it on whenever. Punt returns, touchdowns, running the ball. I mean, he can do it all, and he plays quarterback as well. So you watch for him all over the field, Alex.
Speaking of positions also, quarterback tonight. Joey Prentice will be the starter. Jason Sickett is going to be the backup as he started last week against Valley. So the starter, Joey Prentice, will be back as he's nursing a foot injury, but he will be back.
Yeah, it might take a little bit to get back on the swing of things, but that's given after you miss a couple games. So let's hope he can get back into it by the second quarter and hopefully roll over to a nice win. And
this week, as you might not know, but it is homecoming weekend. So we look at the homecoming court today, Ryan. Let's look at the homecoming court. While we have a little bit of time here before the team comes out, the 2021 homecoming court, Ryan.
Yeah, for freshmen, it's Sienna Causa.
Sophomores, you got Annie Schluppe.
Junior is Amanda Esser, and then there are a good amount of senior.
Yeah, we got a lot here. Faith Benson,
Ava Smith,
Jaden Sharpless,
Scarlett Grill,
Quinn Beitler, and Gia Sarcone. So there'll be a special presentation and crowning of the homecoming queen will take place during halftime tonight, and we'll bring you the coverage of this right after the Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime
congratulations
show.
to all of them. The homecoming dance is tomorrow night, Alex.
It should be good. It should be good, as we had a Forever True Day today. So here's a little taste of what happened today during Forever True Day at North Catholic. That's good. As you can see by that.
Yep, and the North Catholic Trojans are running in behind us, Alex.
Running behind us, and as of right now, we're going to send it up to the booth to Mr. Maziarz as he's going to give us a little bit of the homecoming presentation before this game starts and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as we join together to recognize all of the brave men and women of our alma mater. They have honored us by donning the uniforms of our great nation's military in service to our country. We honor all heroic men and women, both on the field and in the stands, and all who have defended our United States of America in times of difficulty and supported us in times of peace. Tonight, our North Catholic alumni, representing the U.S. Air Force, Mike Conroy, class of 1959. Joe Nowak, class of 1949. Representing the U.S. Army, Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Witherell, class of 1966. Robert Gardner, class of 1957. Major General George Bauer, class of 1949. And Jim Sizemore, class of 1949. Representing the U.S. Navy, Joe Kuhn, class of 1954. Jim Oldacre, class of 1959. Stan Soha, class of 1959. And Chad Riddle, class of 1966. Please join me in a round of applause to show our gratitude to these alumni who have joined us this evening and represent Forever True. Now for the playing of our national anthem. North Catholic alma mater. Here for the North Catholic Marching Band, ladies and gentlemen.
Alumni. We want to thank all those military alumni for the service to a great country, and we thank the band for that great playing the national anthem.
Absolutely, Ryan. Wildcats, Trojans coming up next. Darren Lyles, Sean Malone on the call. It's all yours, guys.
Welcome to Week 5 of the WPIAL football season. We are coming to you from the Mars Athletic Complex in Mars, PA. Your North Catholic Trojans meet the East Allegheny Wildcats in this Class 3A Allegheny 7 conference matchup right here on the North Catholic Sports Network and Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Malone alongside Darren Lyles, Ryan Berry, and Alex Brown. Welcome to the 2021 North Catholic Homecoming Game. The Trojans enter this evening's game after a road victory last Friday over Valley and improving their overall record to 5-0. The Trojans hope to extend their winning streak as the Wildcats come in at 2-2 overall after winning on the road last week. They played at Burrell and came away with a 30-21 win. Tonight is the second conference game for both teams on the year, as they are both 1-0 in the Allegheny 7. So with both teams 1-0, Darren, this is a early season playoff for first place in the conference. We were talking a little bit about the teams that they played. How comparable do you think these two teams are?
It's so hard to see with some of this inter-division play so far. Two of East Allegheny's games were against a single A team and a double A team. Now, Sarah Catholic and Steel Valley are very highly ranked, respectively, in their divisions, but there is sometimes a level of competition between the two, a change. So I'm kind of curious to see. I look at those scores. I look at the score of the Burrell game. I'm kind of curious to see what is East Allegheny. Like, what do we got here? Yeah, so we're not sure if this is going to be like last week, a blowout versus Valley, or like 2 weeks ago when we had that nail-biter of a game once again in a divisional game. So,
yeah, North Catholic has beaten Blackhawk, who is in Quad A. So on paper, they definitely look obviously like a little bit of the better team, being undefeated. What are your keys for a North Catholic victory tonight, Dan?
I want to see which North Catholic shows up. I mean, if you've been following this team for a while, sometimes it's a case of Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. When things are going well, they look efficient. It looks like they're going to be a very hard team to beat by anybody. And when things aren't going so great, man, it's hard to watch sometimes. So let's see how they can play a clean game and execute, because I really think if they do that, they might have a runaway victory today.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the Blackhawk game is a case in point there. They looked amazing the first 18 minutes of the second half. And then the last 6 minutes, you were just hanging on the edge of your seat, hoping they could preserve the win, which they did. Quick trivia: do you know who wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
I do not.
He also wrote Treasure Island, Robert Louis Stevenson.
Oh, nice.
I hope any literary buffs in our audience enjoyed that fact tonight. If you were listening to the pregame show, you heard that Joey Prentice, good news, is going to be back on the field starting tonight for the Trojans. But in our leaders for AAA, Jason Sickett is third in AAA in passing with 14 completions for 299 yards. And in fourth place, right behind him, 21 yards behind, is Joey Prentice.
I think that's really attributed to the team around the quarterbacks, our receivers, our linemen, executing, making the plays with the balls in their hands, going up, getting those catches. So I think it shows, like I said, quality skills around the QB, which, any QB will say that, the players around them definitely change the outlook of the game.
Yeah, and then you go buy your offensive lineman dinner.
Yes.
Because we never talk about those players enough. And it looks like we are about to start. North Catholic in, of course, their red, scarlet and gold uniforms, gold numbers, gold pants, red uniform top. East Allegheny is blue and yellow with white uniform shirts, and they boot it deep. It's a very deep kick, and it's going to roll into the end zone, resulting in a touchback.
Now, Sean, the thing I'm looking for with this first offensive drive from North Catholic is Joey Prentice is back, and we know he's a dual threat. He can run, he can throw, but kind of after dealing with a lower body injury, I'm kind of curious to see if he's in there mostly just for his arm, or if they plan on fully utilizing his skill set, or if it maybe try to protect him a little bit. So I'm kind of curious to see the play calls and what he actually is asked to do in this game.
And the lower body injury is also going to impact the throwing, right? Because you're going to get some of your power from your legs.
His back drive leg.
North Catholic gets the play from the sideline. Prentice about four yards behind the line of scrimmage. He gets the shotgun snag. It's a draw up the middle to Fennell. And Fennell gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
It looks like East Allegheny might be trying to jam the line a little bit, try to take away the run, challenging North Catholic to try to go over the top of the pass.
Right now, East Allegheny has 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 8 players right in the box. So they've got single coverage on the outside, and Kyle Topinski looks almost uncovered in the slot right now. And the snap is high. Prentice is going to try to fall on it. It looks from here like he did. And there's that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde you're talking about there. And that's the Mr. Hyde part.
Yeah, you can't have that, especially in your opening drive. You're really trying to set the tone of the game. And kind of just having that high snap takes you out of your rhythm. You know, usually the first 4 or 5, maybe even 10 plays are scripted before the game. You know it's coming. There's not a whole lot of plays for 3rd and 20. So, you know, it kind of takes you out of your game plan you're hoping to go with early in that game.
And let's this play might give us a test of how good Joey's ankle is. He's going to have to wait for his receivers to get down the field. We could see him scramble
He did
here.
roll back to a high 2 shell.
And it's just going to be a quarterback keeper. Prentice is going to be tackled up high after about a 4 or 5 yard gain. And that's going to result in a North Catholic punt.
I think that play call right there really shows Coach O'Shea's faith in the North Catholic defense, which, as we've seen, have been looking absolutely wonderful so far this year, almost dominant at most times. So let's maybe let the defense go, change field position that way.
Has North Catholic allowed a point? No, they have not allowed a point except in the Blackhawk game. That is really impressive. Daniel Long will be punting from just in front of his own end zone. 2 East Allegheny returners are back there. And it's a low snap. Long is trying to fall on it, and I think he's just going to be tackled for a safety.
Man, these 2 bad snaps in 4 plays, that's not going to help your cause early in this game.
Yeah, certainly not. 2-0 is going to be East Allegheny with 9:38. Oh my. I guess Daniel Long lost that ball at the bottom of the pile, and it's going to be an East Allegheny touchdown with 9:38 left in the first quarter. And this game could not have started any worse for North Catholic.
Again, flashbacks to the Steeler playoff game last year. Hopefully they can clean that up. I mean, snaps are one of the most basic things you could do. Sometimes you got to focus on the basics and not think too far ahead of yourselves.
Number 24, Matt Arminio on to attempt the extra point. Number 5, Michael Cahill to hold.
So East Allegheny will try a point after here. And it's certainly a really quiet homecoming crowd. That point after is good. And East Allegheny is up 7-0 with 9:38 left.
Wildcats 7, Trojans 0.
So North Catholic, not a great start, but their offense has to go right back out on the field. Put yourself in the shoes of an offensive coach here, Darren. What are you saying to your players?
First thing I'm saying, we need the snaps. We need to make sure our mesh points are right. No mistakes. Make them stop us. Don't stop ourselves. All right. So with that case, I'm probably causing one of probably the most comfortable plays I could call. You know, what are the kids like? What do they feel comfortable? They're going to hit 10 out of 10 times. You know, second nature, muscle memory, and go with that play. Just kind of calm ourselves back down, maybe a little ball movement, and take it from there.
Yeah, let's see what the North Catholic offense does. It would certainly help if they get a long return here. Their special teams, even though obviously that punt, the bad snap and the punt led to a touchdown for East Allegheny, special teams has been a strong point for much of the season for North Catholic, and especially their returning game. They've got 3 people back there who, if you give them any space, can take the ball a very long way.
And 3 very different skill sets. You have Jack Fennell, a pure burner, Kyle Topinski, who has, you know, speed close to Fennell, but also the power of his size. And then you have Liam Straw, very shifty. So it's really kind of a pick your poison with who you kick to back there.
And it's going to be a shorter kick to Fennell, and let's see what he can do. Fennell gets to about the 20, and he's going to try to reverse field. He's in amongst a bunch of people, and he can't get away. He is at about the 21 or the 22-yard line. That is where North Catholic will start their second offensive possession.
You know, one thing, Sean, I've also realized looking at the rosters, watching this team, you know, since I've been following North Catholic the last 3 years, this is the 3rd different center they've had. A lot of times they'll take maybe an upperclassman that's played tackle or has some experience on that offensive line and move him into center because, you know, that's the person making the line calls, setting the protection. So I'm kind of curious if just that constant shifting sometimes is the cause for a lot of these high snaps.
Yeah, well, it may be just that the seniors are graduating who are playing center. And Fennell is going to be tackled for a loss at about the 20-yard line. 2nd and 11. So North Catholic on the running plays where they're giving it to a running back. Haven't seen much space to run. North Catholic has yet to attempt a pass. Runs on all 4 downs. Prentice is getting people to jump, but none of the linemen are jumping offside. It's the
good
linebackers
discipline
that
by
are
East
moving.
Allegheny there.
Here's the snap. Prentice is looking to throw this time. He throws it over the middle to Straub. And Straub hauls it in about the 45-yard line.
Great catch on that nice deep post. You know, when a team challenges you like that and they jam the box, you got to take what's given to you. You have receivers that can catch the ball. I'm loving that game plan of getting vertical, protecting, and letting the receivers and Joey Prentice do their thing.
Joey had a lot of time to throw on that play, and he delivered a very accurate pass. There was 2 defenders in that area, and it went right to Straub. This time it's going to be a run up the middle with Fennell, and he has room this time. Fennell, he's getting to the outside. Can he beat everybody? And he's tackled with the last guy who had a chance to get him inside the 20-yard line.
Great run there. Little thing I noticed, they actually brought Daniel Long kind of like in the middle from his tight end wing, kind of as a lead blocker. And we often talk about how good of a pass rusher Daniel Long is, but he's equally as good as a blocker. He gets there and he's an active blocker, kind of opening up that hole, great behind Justin Smith and JJ Quinta, leaving that big hole for Jack Fennell.
So North Catholic, a 1st and 10 from about the 21-yard line. 8:14 left to go in the first quarter. So the Trojans recovering quickly after that disastrous opening possession. Harrington in motion, and Prentice is going to keep it. He's got a hole up the middle. He gets hit and then moves forward another 3 or 4 yards after he got hit to very close to the first down marker.
Yep, nice positive play. You have to respect Chase Arrington with a running start coming off that jet motion. Opens up kind of the run up the middle.
And after 4 offensive plays that gained very little, the next 3 have moved North Catholic rapidly down the field. It is a 2nd and 1 from about the 13-yard line, 12-yard line. This time it's a handoff to Arrington, and he's hit immediately by number 1 from East Allegheny. Where did that guy come from, Darren?
Yeah, usually you see North Catholic with their 3 to 4 wide receiver sets and a tight end. That time, they actually moved Daniel Long into more of a fullback position there, kind of going for that classic power run. I think maybe someone from the edge was able to swoop in there and make that tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. The same player for East Allegheny is uncovered way on the edge of their line. And this time, Fennell was able to get forward before number 1 gets in from behind. And that's going to be a first down for North Catholic.
Yeah, it's really kind of playing a guessing game. You're really hoping that with that wide technique, sometimes it's referred to as a wide 9, that he won't be able to get there in time. You know, you're checking to see how good of an athlete he is. You know, if you're running it up the middle, so it's kind of pointless to block a guy that's so far out of the play. If you can hit the play fast enough and get that hole up the middle, he won't be there to make that tackle.
First and goal now for North Catholic. Prentice gets the snap. He hands it off to Fennell. Fennell cutting back up the middle. A quick burst, and the ball is knocked out, and East Allegheny gets it.
Number 13, Fennell, hit by number 3, Mike Smith.
Just a good play by East Allegheny. Helmet on the ball. You thought maybe he was going to get down to the 1 or 2. It's hard when you have that heavy blow to the ball you're carrying when you're trying to shifting through traffic there.
It looked like Fennell, somebody's helmet, it looked like, hit that
helmet to the ball
and just popped it right up in the air. That's a tough situation for Jack Fennell, but the North Catholic defense, I think, has a chance to make up for all of that here.
Yeah,
East Allegheny recovered that on about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, so let's see. This is our first time seeing East Allegheny's offense, their offensive line. Let's see if North Catholic can get their heavy pressure and maybe come away with some points on a safety here.
And I believe their quarterback, we were saying, is number 3, Mike Smith, who just forced that fumble on the last play.
Coming out with a spread formation right on the goal line. Kind of an interesting call by East Allegheny. Looks to be some personnel. It looks like some personnel issues with East Allegheny. Coming off of that turnover, kind of maybe sometimes you have that jumbling. You know, you're not expecting to be on the field. You have that quick change.
Yeah,
causing a timeout for East Allegheny.
East Allegheny is forced to call a timeout. So we are coming to you from the Mars Athletic Complex again. Last game we did was JC Stone Field. A little bit different complex here. There are 2 sets of stands, one the home stands right below us, and then across for the East Allegheny fans. And the North Catholic student section is filling up most of their section tonight. Really good crowd.
Whiteout.
Whiteout tonight as well.
So kind of curious to see what East Allegheny goes with here. They're trying to just get a little breathing room, get their backs from off the heels of the end zone, or are they maybe trying to catch North Catholic napping, go for a big play right away?
They have 5 wide receivers, and both of them that are on the near side of the field are stacked up. Have you seen this formation before?
I've seen the double stack with 2 on each side, but this double is kind of interesting to see, and we still seem like to have some personnel issues, some trotting around.
And there's an East Allegheny player running off the field. And East Allegheny still looks like they're communicating, and they've got the same play with the stacked wide receivers all the way to the quarterback's right, the far side of the field. Smith gets the high snap, and he throws it.
Is that a backward pass?
Is that a backward pass? The ball is going to roll out of the end zone.
Smith pass, ball's incomplete.
And the referees are going to consult here whether it's a safety. And
It
they are
is.
calling it a safety. They're going to say it was a backwards pass.
Yeah, great pressure up front on that North Catholic defense, forcing a hurried throw, causing the safety. So now both defense/special teams have got some points for their team so far.
Yeah, so at 6:28, we have a bad punt snap. We're covered for a touchdown by East Allegheny, and there, North Catholic, 1 play after fumbling the ball. East Allegheny recovers on their own 1-yard line. 1 play later, North Catholic gets the safety, and they're going to get the ball back. The time of possession stats are going to be really skewed for this quarter. East Allegheny has had the ball for maybe 8 seconds, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes that's the name of the game. I think North Catholic has to feel good, though, coming into this drive. I mean, sometimes fumbles happen. It's part of the game. But they were moving the ball, run, and pass. So, you like to think that their confidence is feeling high. They got some points. Now they're back in this game, only down by 5. I think hopefully we'll see some more shots down the field, kind of get a feel for what East Allegheny is trying to do defensively and move from there.
I agree, but I also disagree with sometimes fumbles are a part of the game. Not 4 times in maybe 10 plays. They really got to clean that up.
Oh, true. I meant the not the fumbled snaps, but the fumbles as a runner in the high school level, Sean.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There wasn't a ton that Fennell could do there. That's one of those plays where you're fighting for extra yardage. Somebody's helmet pops under the ball.
Yeah, no guy comes from your blind side. But I definitely bet you'll see Jack Fennell hold the ball a whole lot tighter on his next carry.
Yeah, I would think so too. And this is going to be a free kick, which you can use as a punt or a kickoff. East Allegheny has chose to kick the ball from their own 20-yard line, so North Catholic should get decent field position here. And the ball is squibbed. It's picked up by Camedy, and Camedy just falls on it at about the 47, 48-yard line.
Smart play by Camedy. Don't be a hero there. You're going to get the ball near the 50. Just follow it. Make sure it stays in your hands.
And the offense trots back out on the field for North Catholic on this homecoming Friday. Darren and I both teach at North Catholic. It was a day of just kind of fun for the students. That lipped up video that you saw if you watched the pregame, a powder puff competition, and you were a coach out there on the field. How did your team do today?
We went 0-2 today. The sophomore class didn't come away with the win. Our champions, congratulations to the juniors. A lot of great athletes in the junior girl class, but it was just fun. Let the girls go out there, play a little football. I think everyone had a blast.
And here on this football field, North Catholic hands off, and Chase Arrington is met immediately in the backfield.
Another little bit of a high snap there. Sometimes I throw some of the timing off on some of these plays. I mean, it's not every shotgun snap's going to be perfect on the money, but if they can just start having a little more consistency with those snaps, I really think this offense will start moving.
The middle linebacker for East Allegheny, Makai Mitchell, is 6 feet, 250 pounds. That's a very big middle linebacker. And he's got some speed, too. That was Mitchell chasing down Arrington to the sideline. Wow.
Yeah, he definitely has some closing speed, and that's a lot of mass to block, compact, muscular frame. So they definitely got to keep an eye and try to maybe get the ball away from him.
Now, that was a really impressive rundown by Mekhi Mitchell because Chase Harrington is very fast. And it looked like he had the angle on Harrington, but that didn't quite happen. So now it's 3rd and 15 from their 42-yard line. North Catholic has moved back 5 yards on this drive, so you figure to see a pass here. 4 wide receivers out for the Trojans: Fennell, Straub, Topinski, and Maziarz. Prentice is looking to pass, and now he throws it down the sideline and just over Fennell's head. And another 3 and out for the Trojans.
Yeah, I thought we had it there. It's decent protection. Jerry Prentice buys some extra time, just really can't make that connection. Unless I'm seeing something differently, I believe East Allegheny is running what we call 4-eye tight. It's becoming really popular in the college game. With this inside shade of the 2 defensive ends and a 3-man front, it's been giving college offensive coordinators headaches. So I definitely think it definitely is meant to kind of get some speed on the field, but also kind of clog up those running lanes you see with a lot of these spread offenses in today's game.
And special teams play here for North Catholic. Good snap this time, and Long boots it away. That's a big punt. It's going to be taken by East Allegheny about the 12, and it looked like there might have been a block in the back, but no flag. And the East Allegheny guy is just squirting out of tackle after tackle, but he still goes nowhere. Great pursuit by a lot of Trojans.
Yeah, great defense, special teams play, backing them up, playing the field position game.
Yeah, East Allegheny is going to have the ball inside their 20-yard line. So they've got an average starting drive position of about the 6.5, 7-yard line.
Yeah.
Since the last one quickly ended in a safety. And on that safety, North Catholic got in the backfield about half a second. If that's going to be a trend tonight, East Allegheny is going to have a hard time doing anything on offense. But now they're not backed up in their end zone. So let's see what the Wildcats want to do.
Just the visual, the eye test. You can see North Catholic definitely has a size advantage up front. So I'm kind of curious to see if that plays during this game.
It's going to be a shotgun snap, quarterback run, and again, North Catholic, everybody is in the backfield. It looks like Topinski and Straub, I think, and maybe one other player.
Well, I think it all starts up front with a big push by Lucius Marvell. That was actually kind of the matchup I was looking. I mean, the smallest part of their line at East Allegheny is at the center position. I think that's a matchup they could win. If you have pressure up the middle, you're not going to move the ball. So I think that's a big thing to look forward going forward, is if East Allegheny can kind of shore up that middle while they have on offense.
Yeah, so Lucius Marbella lined up right there in the center of the North Catholic defensive line as the nose tackle. Snap to Mike Smith, and it goes backwards, and East Allegheny is going way backwards.
Yeah, taken down by a host of Trojans there. Great gang tackle by the North Catholic Trojans.
And they're just, everybody is flooding the backfield.
Yeah.
Pretty much every single play. And maybe it is that just size mismatch that you were talking about on the offensive line. But this North Catholic defense is just really good.
Yes, they've been dominant all year. Great pressure up front. Great coverage by defensive backs. I think we don't mention that enough. I was talking to Chase Harrington a little bit today, and I just love how he's a physical corner. You don't see that a lot in the high school game, and some people are calling for pass interference calls, but he's allowed to play the receiver until the ball's in the air, and he's allowed to play for the ball. So I think a lot of high school receivers don't know how to get off that.
Yeah, there was a couple pass interference calls against him, against Blackhawk, and they're gonna target him right now, and the ball is way over everybody's head, and there is a flag. I
don't know how you get a flag clear across the other side of the field. Kind of an interesting call coming here.
Could be a sideline warning on North Catholic. They've had a couple of those this year.
Maybe.
Yes.
Sideline warning.
Liam Straub and the players in the field are saying back up. I guess, do the players have to be behind this blue line that is behind
it depends on the field. I know when I played, we had a second white line we stayed behind. Some schools I know you can stay, you see between the 30s, the 25 to 25, you have that thicker white line at the sideline. Sometimes you have to stay behind that and stay within that box. Like you can't run all the way down to the end of the sideline. So I'm not 100% sure if it is the blue line or the white sideline.
And was that blocked, or I don't know. J.D. Butler has it, and Butler is getting to the end zone.
They're saying down at the 1.
Down at the 1-yard line.
And nice play there, a nice aware play. You can allow to pick it up and run with it. You don't have to be the return man. So great play there, J.D. Butler taking it, just driving forward, getting the North Catholic offense in a good position.
Yeah, I could not tell who got a hand on that punt, but it really went nowhere. And North Catholic now just knocking on the door for East Allegheny, looking to get their first lead in this game, where they were behind the 8 ball from the very beginning as East Allegheny recovered a muffed punt.
It looks like they're North Catholic's going into the power set. You got an extra tight end in there with Robbie Kress. You got Kyle Topinski in the backfield. Let's see what they go with here.
This is a play in previous years where Joey Prentice has just done a QB sneak. And North Catholic recovered the ball in the end zone, but you can't advance the ball with a fumble.
No, don't believe so.
So Prentice recovers the ball, and it's just going to be 2nd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched this team. Sometimes, when 99% of your plays are from the shotgun, you're not often used to, snapping and driving. So you can have some issues with the snap like that when you're going under center.
Let's see if North Catholic just goes back to the well with that QB sneak. They do. Kyle Topinski gives him a big push, and Joey Prentice is in for the touchdown.
I mean, that makes sense. Joey Prentice, 6'3", over 200 pounds. You have big Kyle Topinski. Give him a little nudge for the nice 5-yard head start. Use your big guys up front. Use your size. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, that was certainly not complicated. It was Joey Prentice, as you said, being a big quarterback, lunging into the end zone with another 200-some pounds pushing from behind him. Is that legal to push somebody into the end zone? Wasn't there a famous, Notre Dame, USC?
The immaculate push with Reggie Bush pushing Matt Leinart into the end zone in a Notre Dame USC game. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's illegal, but no one really seems to call it that much because it's so hard to you're obviously pushing him, because everyone pushes the pile. So it's one of those rules that aren't always enforced.
And there might have been a flag here. Coach O'Shea is talking to a referee as Marsico lines up for the extra point.
And definitely the North Catholic student section and their whiteout getting rowdy, really happy with this lead change.
They threw some sort of powder into the air. Is that like the LeBron James powder that maybe they were saving for the first touchdown of the game? And North Catholic does have an 8-7 lead here.
And a penalty now on East Allegheny, so they're going to attempt to go for 2 here, Sean.
So does that moves the ball from
the 2 to the 1, I believe?
Okay, it looks to
half
me like the ball is still on the 2. Now they're moving it up to the 1-yard line. And now we have explanations to the other coach. This has been a very disjointed first quarter so far. 2:41 left. What do you think here? Another quarterback sneak, Darren?
Well, I mean, it's kind of curious to see what they go with because, the last time they had all the big boys up front, the extra tight ends, big Kyle Topinski behind it. Now you see Kyle split out. You see the extra wide receivers on the field. Maybe a quick play, maybe a little QB run, kind of spread them out, find a hole.
East Allegheny's coach still getting some explanations from the officials on the far sideline. He now goes back to his coaching box. Looks like we're ready to go for this 2-point try for North Catholic. It would give them a 3-point lead if they're successful. Referee blows his whistle. Looks like everybody is about to get set for on the offensive line, putting out assignments. Prentice is in the shotgun. Fennell in motion. High snap. Prentice makes somebody miss, and he's going to dive into the end zone. Joey Prentice making something out of nothing there.
They took the words out of my mouth. Sometimes, your play doesn't run, your mesh point isn't there. When I say mesh point, I mean the handoff on those motion plays or the handoffs in the backdoor. Sometimes you just got to take it, find a lane, and just see if you can go, especially when you're that close to the end zone. Great heads-up play by Joey Prentice, showing he's an athlete. That lower body injury is looking like it's not much of an issue for him right now.
Yeah, he was during the homecoming Forever True Day festivities. He was walking around with a boot on one leg. I really didn't think he was going to play tonight.
The whole week he had it on. But, I mean, we've seen before, us Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Ben Roethlisberger, I think is eternally in a walking boot at some point in the season and always plays. So a lot of those times that's just preventative. Keep the things tight, keep everything in place, and then you wrap it up, tape it up, and go on Fridays.
Yeah, he certainly looked really good with that leg there. Very quick, making one person miss in the backfield, and then he had a wide open lane to get that. It was from the 1 yard line, but he really had to run 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, but he had to field that high snap, kind of get his equilibrium of where everyone is, because he basically turned his back almost, trying to field that, and then find that open lane.
Yeah, an excellent play from Prentice as North Catholic gets a 1 yard touchdown drive. So we've had some interesting scores so far. Again, recovered fumble off of a bad punt snap in the end zone, a safety for North Catholic, and now a 1 yard touchdown run off a blocked punt.
Yeah, some interesting scoring, but hey, you got to take opportunities. I mean, there isn't a football coach out there that will complain about 10 1 yard touchdowns. I mean, they'll take it every time.
Daniel Long will be kicking it off here. There's the kick. East Allegheny fields it at about the 10. And East Allegheny's trying to break it out wide to the far side. And whoa, he's slipping out of tackles. Still going up over the 20-yard line. East Allegheny looks like they have some slippery players if you can get them in space, but their offense has got no space at all so far.
I mean, one thing about East Allegheny you've seen over the years is they always produce athletes. They have people that if you give them a lane and put the ball in their hands, they can't hurt you. That's what you have to realize playing that team. So you really got to try to limit the free space they have. Really, play the chess game. Don't give them a lot of room to work.
Here we go, first down and 10 for East Allegheny from their own 24-yard line. They're looking to pass, and the quarterback has to scramble, and he goes down in the backfield, and there was 3 Trojans on him.
Once again, Lucius Marbella, pressure up the middle, and then we know about the pass rush of Primrose and Long, so you don't need much time for those two either. So it just seemed like a mad dash to the quarterback.
Yeah, I think they're going to give that one to Daniel Long. Lucius Marbella, this could be a great day for him, as at school he won the corn eating competition. I don't know if you were in the gym for that, but
so he has lots of carbohydrates to fuel this game.
Yes, he does, and he's been doing really well so far, just getting into the backfield. Smith looking, throwing deep downfield. Arrington, and they're going to throw a flag. Arrington never got his head around. I don't know if he had any contact until after the ball was made
I
there.
think if he turns his head, I think that was good defense, but if he turns his head maybe a second sooner, I think he gets away with that play. That looked like good defense to me, but a lot of times referees look for that helmet, see where it's facing, and throw the flag accordingly.
Yeah, that was a late flag, too, at least in my opinion. But I'm assuming that's going to be pass interference against North Catholic.
Once again, high school rules, only 15 yards, not a spot foul like in the NFL.
I like that better.
I'm conflicted, Sean. I'm conflicted because sometimes you might have someone beat and you might have a defensive back just tackle him. It's only 15 yards instead of a spot foul. So, I mean, it has its advantages and disadvantages. Both type of rulings can be exploited in their own way.
So East Allegheny now has moved the ball forward. They've got a 1st and 10 from about the 34-yard line in a spread formation, 4 wide receivers, 1 player in the backfield with Smith. Smith gives it to him, and he is pursued from behind and tackled by Daniel Long.
Yeah, great pursuit. It's almost, the defensive line has so much penetration, they almost run by the running back. But that's a great way to turn around, follow the play, and make the play by Long.
Yeah, it was Willie Banks, number 9 for East Allegheny, who looks to be maybe their main running back. Second and 9 now for the Wildcats. And it's going to be a quarterback sneak and tackled immediately by Seamus Straub. Maybe a 2-yard, 3-yard gain.
Yeah, we had kind of that fake screen. I don't know if it was a screen that was supposed to be called and the quarterback decided to just pull down and run with it, or if that was a called, fake screen to QB draw. But makes it 3rd and manageable now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, 3rd and 5. So you could run it or pass it here. And we've got a false start, and that's going to make it third and less manageable.
Yes, yes. Once again, I'm kind of curious to see, once again, the protection East Allegheny goes. Let's look at the size difference. There's a couple points on that East Allegheny line. I think they might need a double team, and it's how many people you leave in the block and who do you double? Who do you trust to try to go one-on-one with this North Catholic pass rush?
Yeah, North Catholic has Tyler Primrose and Daniel Long on the defensive line, and they've done really well. We are almost at the end of the first quarter here, under 15 seconds. And are we going to get a snap off? Looks like we are. Wildcats snap it, 3rd and 10. And Smith is going to, oh wow, what a fake from Smith. And he's in the open. He's going to get a first down, cross midfield. Great play to end the first quarter from East Allegheny. North Catholic has a 10-7 lead, and I believe we're going to go down to the field for a special interview with Alex Brown and a member of the North Catholic School Board between the quarters.
Guys, down here on the field, I'm here with the chairman of the North Catholic Board, Mr. Nick Navari. Mr. Navari, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
So you in here too in North Catholic, class of '88.
Class of '88.
So how does it feel to come home?
It feels awesome. It feels great. I mean, I remember Friday nights going to J.C. Stone and packing J.C. Stone Field and painting our faces to come to these games, and to be here on homecoming night, it's just a real treat for me.
Absolutely. What made you want to be a part of the board? You make it such a meaningful impact on the school that you once went to.
I was asked to join the board about 3 years ago, and I just fell in love with North Catholic, and I want to continue to serve and support the school that served and supported so many over the years. I'm proud to be a Trojan,
So you were a part of the baseball team when you were in North Catholic. You went out to play collegiate baseball, right?
Indeed, yep.
At Penn State. So how does it feel to see the athletic department succeed in such a meaningful way as you see with the football team here tonight?
I absolutely love it, and I'm glad to see that after the slow start, we recovered a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah.
Going into the end of the first quarter, we on the board, Alex, have big plans for the athletic program. There's plans are in the works to start tennis courts on campus.
Oh, fantastic.
And beyond that, we've got even bigger plans for athletic facilities on campus that may just include something like this. A few years down the road, but we're working on it.
Is that a hint?
It's a hint.
Okay.
It's not going to happen next year,
yes.
but it's a hint.
It's in the works. Perfect. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Let me just say before we go,
yes.
You are doing a phenomenal job doing this. We're really proud of you. The board is very proud of you, and if we can support you in any way, we want to continue to do so.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, bud.
Back up to you guys in the booth.
And that was a great interview there by Alex Brown as we get to action back on the field. And the second quarter starts with something we saw a lot in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a sack by the defensive line. To say as a whole, the whole defensive line gets the sack at once. Great pressure. I mean, it really looks like the quarterback's going to have to do a lot by himself, making plays like he did at the end of the first quarter. Shades of Vince Young in 05 with the pump fake and run. So I'm kind of curious to see how North Catholic will adjust to try to make sure, keep him contained, because I think that might be his best bet when he drops back and pass.
So now we have a 2nd down and 13 from the 47-yard line, I think, for East Allegheny. Snap, quarterback rolling to his right. He throws it to a wide open person, and that East Allegheny player is really slippery. He's going to get down inside the 30-yard line, and suddenly, after really, really bad drives their first 2 times, East Allegheny is moving the football.
We do have a flag on the field, though. That was a smart play call by East Allegheny. You have an athletic quarterback, get him on the move if their protection isn't great, kind of take away that backside of the rush, and a good route by East Allegheny, but all negated by a holding call.
And Lucius Marbella never left that area of the field. Maybe he was the one who was held. I mean, he knew he didn't need to walk 30 yards downfield to set up.
Brings up 2nd and 25 for the Wildcats.
2nd and 25 for East Allegheny, and that's a big penalty there, Darren. They had the ball all the way inside the 30-yard line, and now they're inside their own 40 on the 35. Smith has the ball, rolling to his right again, and everyone from North Catholic is chasing him. Kyle Topinski tackles him as he throws the ball, and they're going to say that he was down. His knee was on the ground before he threw the ball. Kyle Topinski with the sack.
Great closing speed there. I mean, once again, rolling, trying to keep that pocket moving. don't let him be a sitting duck back there. But Kyle Topinski shoots in, makes the play. And let's not look at Maziarks there making a good tackle at the end of the pass if it was a completed pass. So great team defense by North Catholic.
So now 3rd and 31. We've had some really long down and distance situations in our last few broadcasts.
I do wonder what our record is so far this year.
I feel like North Catholic had longer than a 3rd and 31 towards the end of that Blackhawk game.
Maybe it was a 40, maybe a 3rd and 40.
Yeah. And are we going to have a timeout again for East Allegheny?
I think maybe some personnel issues with East Allegheny again. One thing I'm kind of curious to see with East Allegheny as we go forward, I mean, if you look at the sidelines for each team, and East Allegheny doesn't have a whole lot of a bench compared to North Catholic. Obviously, a lot of these guys are going to be playing both ways, maybe even special teams as well. So I'm kind of curious to see if North Catholic being able to rotate some guys in on their special teams, offense, defense, with their conditioning, maybe wear them out. Just kind of make sure you keep that lead as it is. Don't play a more conservative game. And eventually, big plays will happen as possibly the Wildcats get tired.
Yeah, that's a great point, Aaron. North Catholic's players are kind of spread out, but they go basically from the 35 to the 35. East Allegheny has all their players within a 15-yard span over there. They really do not have very many players. That's a wonderful point.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, it is doable. I mean, Steel Valley, I believe, won a Wpil title 3-4 years ago with 15 kids. So, I mean, it's...
That must be really cool to be on a team with 15 kids that wins a title.
Really tiring, probably.
Yeah, that's got to be just kind of a special accomplishment to know that your 15 best football players are the best in your classification. You don't need people who only play one side of the ball. Smith chased immediately again. Primrose grabs him and spins him around into the arms of another North Catholic player, and that's a sack.
Great job by Primrose to stay with the play. Sometimes all you got is a piece of a jersey. You just hold on for dear life. Hope a buddy comes out and helps you out. I didn't see who was there to clean it up, but good awareness, seeing the quarterback in distress, finishing off that play.
I think it was Robbie Kress. And now we've got a 4th and 31. East Allegheny will be forced to punt.
Is this the first punt for East Allegheny of the day, Sean? Oh, no.
East Allegheny with their second punt of the game. Remember, that first one was blocked, and that one wasn't that good either.
Yeah.
And it's about the 50-yard line.
John, do you want to do the photography one soon? Yeah, we should do that. Okay, next change of possession.
Okay, Joey Prentice back out there. I did notice Jason Sickett warming up on the sidelines. I was just kind of curious to see, and Joey Prentice did pull him out of defense, so I was kind of curious to see if we'd see Sickett again, but it looks like Joey Prentice is good to go at quarterback.
I would anticipate if North Catholic can get up by, say, more than 2 touchdowns that we would see Sickett just to protect Prentice from re-injuring that leg. And he gets a shotgun snap. He's back there, throws it over the middle, and just off the fingertips of Daniel Long.
Definitely a little pressure there while Prentice was releasing.
Yeah, someone came free on the edge from East Allegheny. Can you try to explain again what East Allegheny is doing on defense?
It looks like, just from my perspective here, and I'm not in the film room with them, I don't have the all 22, as people say, but it looks like they're running a defense that's often referred as a 4-eye tight. And basically the 2 defensive ends, you have a 3-man front, you have a nose tackle, and the defensive ends are on the inside shoulder of the offensive tackles. And I guess with the way the alignment is, and a lot of what teams do today with the zones and the pulling, sometimes the guards, it kind of hinders that because the guard pulls, the defensive end could cut it right across the tackle's face. The tackle really can't cut him off and get in to make the backfield play. And if you're running a zone, you're kind of jamming those lanes. You have some linebackers to make some plays. Like I said, if you're a football buff like me and you'd like to see what's going on in the X's and O's of today's world, many an offensive coordinators trying to put their heads together to see how they could conquer this defense right now.
So what you're saying is that the East Allegheny, their 3 defensive linemen are closer together and closer to the middle than you would normally see.
Yeah, usually a defensive end in a 3-man front, so the outside shoulder used as a pass rusher in a 3-man front. But what you do is you line up on that inside, kind of in the gap between the tackle and guard. And, it's mostly to stop the run first and foremost. And you have sometimes you have an overhang linebacker. You have 2 guys usually in the middle and some overhang guys as well to kind of clean up on the outside if they do try to run an outside zone. But like I said, it really kind of limits what you do with pulling your offensive lineman, which we saw Blackhawk utilize a lot in the last broadcast we had. So
now it's 2nd and 5. There must have been a penalty there to advance the ball for North Catholic. Prentice gets a high snap, pulls it down, throws it to Straub. Straub has a little bit of room. He makes one guy miss. He makes two-man miss. He's inside the 40, and he's going to be tackled on about the 35-yard line. You used the word slippery earlier, and that was just wonderfully on display there.
Yeah, you watch Liam Straub on the ball, and he's not blazing by anybody, but it just seems like no one can tackle him. You know, it looks like before the game he just got oiled down with some Pam, and no one can seem to get a handle.
Yeah, that was just amazing. The first two people who came at him, he just did a little slide shuffle, and they went right by. I wonder what he sees as a runner. Whether is he just reading the body of the defender coming to him? Does he make a predetermined move? He just looks so smooth out there when he gets the ball in space. And now Straub goes in motion from the right-hand side to the left. Now there's 3 receivers to the left for North Catholic. Prentice pulls it down. He's going to cut up the middle. He has a lot of move. Prentice barreling forward inside the 20-yard line. A 15, 16-yard run for Joey Prentice.
Joey Prentice looks good to go with that leg there, with that run. Moving around, shuffling a little bit. Getting another Trojan first down.
Prentice, I think he must make about as many people miss as Straub does, but he does it very differently. Prentice is much more powerful, I would say, in the way he runs. Straub almost looks like he's going in slow motion when he makes people miss.
Joey Prentice definitely has more of a straight line speed, too. Like, you have to be there quickly. If not, he'll blow by you as well. So, yeah, different types of runners, but still both effective in their own way.
This time, Prentice hands it to Topinski. Looks like he dropped it. There's a bunch of flags. It's going to be a first down if it doesn't come back, but we'll see what the flags say.
I mean, what we saw there was just an example of Kyle Topinski's burning speed. You know, this is, I think, part of the reason they put him in that slot receiver. You know, get him on some matches, maybe let him go over the top, get him on those jet sweeps, and let the guy who run a 4.40 run.
With a conference from the officials. 7:56 left to play in the second quarter. North Catholic with that 10-7 lead that they earned with 2:41 left in the first quarter when Joey Prentice had a 1-yard touchdown run followed by a 1-yard 2-point conversion run. But there's going to be a holding penalty here on North Catholic, and that's going to move the ball back to the 25-yard line.
After the penalty, the Trojans have it, 1st and 15 from the 25-yard line.
First and 15 from the 25. Maziard, Straub, Topinski to the right. Set out wide, Straub to the left. Fennell in the backfield. Prentice looking to pass. Throw is over the top, and there's a flag in the area of pass interference. Straub was probably getting held, and there's a flag in the backfield.
Blatant holding on Straub. You see the jersey start separating from the body. The East Allegheny defender felt he was getting beat, just tried to slow him down a little bit. Kind of curious to see if we have an offsetting penalties here in the backfield, though.
And there's another flag. Or was it a football?
Remember, there is a difference between holding and pass interference. I believe holding is only a 10-yard penalty in high school, while pass interference is a 15. Oh, it's 5 yards.
The holding on the defense and personal foul on the offense. I didn't see what that personal foul was. It must have happened in the North Catholic backfield.
Yeah, I don't know if something was said. I believe these penalties offset, or
I feel like does a personal foul not take precedence over a defensive holding?
Or do they mark off 5 then mark off 15?
So that was 10. And now we're going back 15.
I thought this was just offset, but maybe I'm not up to date on my high school rule book as maybe these officials are.
Yeah, this first quarter has had a lot of penalties, a lot of stoppages, and in the end, it's a 1st and 20 from North Catholic. So this seems to just be another of their drives there where they're shooting themselves in the foot after a couple of good offensive plays. Right? They've totally broken their momentum. They've gone from a 1st and 10 at the 20 to now a 1st and 10 at the 30, and they still have to get to the 10-yard line. So you'd like to see a chunk play here to get it to a manageable 2nd and 3rd down. Prentice in the pocket, throws it deep, jump ball. Maziar's well defensed by East Allegheny.
Yeah, great defense there. Once again, putting yourself between the receiver and the ball. Good ball by Prentice, just really good defense by East Allegheny. I mean, that's a matchup you like. I mean, Kyle Maziark probably is close to 6'2" to 6'3", you know. You got to take those shots every now and then.
So North Catholic takes a shot down towards the end zone on 1st and 20. Let's see what they do here on 2nd and 20. The Trojans have really gone away from the run game that was unsuccessful, I would say, in their first couple drives, and at least running up the middle. They've got a lot of jet motions and Prentice passing. Prentice heaves it to the end zone. Straub is open, and that's got to be pass interference.
Yeah, once again, you got to turn the head around. That was just a hand up, get in the way. Now, I don't know exactly the rules of high school if it occurs in the end zone. If it does get placed at the 1, or if it's just simply 15 yards is 15 yards. So I'm kind of curious to see what the yardage is here.
I'm going to think that it's probably just 15 yards, so not going to place the ball on the 1 yard line. But maybe to your point about liking the NFL rule, that was a case where a pass interference robbed a sure touchdown. If he does not run right through Straub, I think Liam catches that ball. So maybe that is a position where the ball should be placed on the 1 yard line.
I am really enjoying North Catholic's use of play action to actually buy some time for Prentice as a thrower, because the play action, if you watch the ends of East Allegheny, they come in, but they have to stop for a second to see if that jet handoff's coming through. I mean, they get just to have that beeline at the Joey Prentice. So that use of play action gives them an extra second to make those deep throws down the field.
And this is really the most that I've seen Prentice stay in the pocket and deliver, try to deliver some strikes down the field. A lot of his deeper downfield throws in previous years, I feel like, have been him scrambling, eluding tackles, setting his feet, and just chucking it to somebody who's got open. And during this North Catholic timeout, we would like to remind you that whether you need a business headshot, family portrait, or you just want to remember that toothless grin of your 6-year-old, Dina Koenig Photography is at your service. Dina specializes in capturing the beauty of your family and creating customized wall art to decorate your home. Dina Koenig Photography is the official photographer of North Catholic Athletics. So after 3 penalties, I think in 4 plays, we're at a 2nd and 5 with 7:40 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's curious to see what they go with here. I mean, as we witnessed by our last broadcast, high school kickers can be sporadic. So I'm kind of see if they just are trying to make this into a 3rd and manageable, or are they trying to get this touchdown right now? Is kicking even on their mind as an option? You know, playing a conservative game with the way the defense is playing.
Long in motion from the left side of the line to the right. Prentice is trying to scramble, and he's tackled at about the 30-yard line.
Great timing on that blitz. I mean, you motion over the tight end to help block him. Looked like it was going to be a rollout, but number 10, Caleb Mills, just shoots in there like a cannon and makes the sack.
And it is really hard to be the first person in the backfield and tackle Joey Prentice as that first person. Yeah. He is so good at making that first rusher miss. But Mills just got in there so fast, Prentice couldn't really make a move.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm wondering now, is this 4-down territory? Is it one of the things you just try to get something and then see if you can get that first down with 4th, or are you thinking about just getting a more manageable field goal? So I'm kind of curious to see what we have here with the North Catholic play call coming up.
It is 3rd and 20, 7:13 left, and we're going to get another timeout.
By East Allegheny.
By East Allegheny. It's going to be their 3rd and final timeout here in the first half. We still have 7 minutes and 13 seconds left to play. Again, it is Homecoming Friday here at North Catholic. Off to our left in the the end zone that East Allegheny will be trying to score to in this second quarter. It looks like we've got the homecoming court and their family ready to be introduced during halftime, where they'll announce the homecoming queen. So I guess this gives us a second to let you know who is on the court.
I'd just like to give a real quick shout out to Mrs. Benton, Mrs. Boyer, who just worked tirelessly organizing this dance. And I share an office with both of them, and I can just tell you they're trying the best for these students to give them a great experience. And I can't thank them enough, as a teacher, and I think the school should thank them a lot for all the hard work they put in planning this dance.
And I guess I'll hold off and let you know who is on the homecoming court as the teams have retaken the field after that pretty short timeout. And Joey Prentice, of course, at quarterback. Jacob Valentine is out to the left as a wide receiver. To the right, it's Maziarz, Topinski, and Straub. Jack Fennell in the backfield.
Seems to be a meeting of the minds between the East Allegheny coach and two of the officials.
And those minds have met several times so far in this game. This just feels like a really slow half. As North Catholic is up 10-7. And I feel like that is probably, to a point you made earlier, Darren, in East Allegheny's favor because of the lower number of players on their team. And North Catholic, I feel like, is also partly a rhythm offense. They probably play best when they're moving fast, calling in plays, that hurry-up offense. And all of these penalties and timeouts, it's hard to get a rhythm on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, North Catholic, they kind of run a no huddle, and definitely you definitely tell North Catholic when things go well, it's like a snowball. It rolls downhill, and they seem to be doing it. When they have these fumbles and penalties, that's what really slows them down. So, like I said, if they could really conquer themselves, I think they're one of the hardest teams to beat, not just in the Wpil, but in the entire state.
And we're still conferencing on the sideline with two referees and the East Allegheny coach. Now it looks like we are finally ready to resume action. Third down and 20. So that choice you mentioned what feels like ages ago is still there for North Catholic. Do you go for it all here? Is this two-down territory? I'm thinking this is two-down territory, Darren.
Yeah, and our offensive coaches, a lot of times you'll see them off that hard count, see what the defense gives them, and maybe make an audible while they're out there.
Topinski in motion. He's going to line up on the left-hand side. Prentice is looking that way. Now he looks back to his right. He's going to scramble, but there was a hold, and it's intercepted. Fortunately, the interception is not taken back that far. It's about the 40-yard line. There was going to be a penalty on North Catholic, but obviously East Allegheny is going to decline that, and they're going to go back on offense with 7:02 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a case of just trying to make a little too much happen. I mean, obviously, Joey Prentice doesn't see the flag, doesn't know it's kind of a lost play, but trying to make the big play there with a little bit of chaos going around with the rush.
And Mekai Manor, who made that interception, he just stepped right in front of that throw. Good read on his part. Takes the ball away from the Trojans.
So we have seen East Allegheny take some shots down the field. Let's see if they've trying to get that again, because there has been a heavy rush, but there has been some protection at times.
High snap. Smith, 4 people on him, just chucks it down the field, and that's one of those underthrown balls that the receiver just makes a better read on than the quarterback.
Yeah, obviously, the receiver's looking for the ball, while the defensive back's guarding him. So sometimes you see that underthrown ball, they make that right back cut, and defensive back keeps running. But really good play by Mike Smith there to kind of just buy himself time. It was like a mad rush, looked like he was going to be swallowed up, but makes a little shifty move and gives him just enough time to throw, which I said, he's going to be the one that has to give himself time.
Yeah, who made that catch there for East Allegheny? I think it was number 6.
Trayshawn Gaynor
for
senior.
East Allegheny. A senior made a nice play on that ball. Smith makes somebody miss, but he gets caught by the second man. That's Kress.
Yeah, Smith is extremely shifty. I mean, he looks like he's dead to rights almost on every play, but he's doing a great job buying himself time in the pocket, on the run. You really got to make sure that guy doesn't have a lot of room to move.
And he's not afraid to just chuck the ball up there like he did to Gaynor, and let his athletes on the outside try and make a play. We've got Harrington is now press coverage against Gaynor. And Gaynor's going deep, and that's where the ball's going to go. Harrington doesn't turn around, but this time the ball's thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, remember, Sean, when it comes to pass interference penalties, it's in the rule that it has to be a catchable ball. I mean, if you would tackle someone, but the ball is, 10 yards behind where the play was being, or 15 yards, it's not a catchable ball. It's not in the rule book, in a textbook style, a penalty. So keep that in mind as well. So a play that was widely overthrown like that, you're allowed to maybe be a little more physical with the balls in the air. But there is a flag on the play, or are they picking it up?
And it is going to be a flag. And the ball is being marched down the field. It may have been a hands to the face penalty because it's going 15 yards down the field. And East Allegheny, once again, is moving the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
Last time they were in this position, they thought they were going to be in this position when there was that devastating holding penalty. But this time they do actually have the ball deep in Trojan territory. Smith is tackled by Tyler Topinski, sprinting into the backfield.
Yeah, I was curious to see how the play would shake out. That was the first time I've seen East Allegheny actually go to some more of a bigger personnel set with multiple tight ends. So I was kind of curious to see what they would try out of that. Great range by Kyle Topinski coming down from middle linebacker to run down the shifty Smith. Appears to be some more personnel possible issues from East Allegheny.
And they had Willie Banks sprinting off the field. Mackay Manor is in the backfield now. Smith, of course, the quarterback, he's going to roll to his right, and he throws it wide of Gaynor. Gaynor had a little bit of room there, but Smith was really heavily pressured.
Gaynor seems to be a pretty complete wide receiver. I see some good routes out of him, that awareness to come back to the ball with very tight coverage. Chase Harrington is a very talented quarterback. So is Liam Straub. So, getting open and being available for that pass, on a consistent basis is really talking props to him.
Now let's see if that's where East Allegheny will turn to on a 3rd and 13. He's definitely been their most targeted receiver tonight. You figure that they would look towards him here. And North Catholic has really had a lot of single coverage on the outside as East Allegheny spreads it out.
I mean, they're only rushing 3 most downs. They're really trying to just drop back in coverage and clog up those passing lanes.
Oh, and Smith is going to be, he shovel passes it to number 1 for East Allegheny.
And Daniel Long cleans that play up.
And Daniel Long does clean it up. Smith has been really creative in avoiding sacks.
Yeah, he is. He is looking good out there, making plays. I know there's not a lot of points on the board for East Allegheny offensively, but he is doing a great job. I mean, any coach would be happy with that performance of his quarterback. But Daniel Long, the eternal motor of Daniel Long, chases down that play from behind. Doesn't let sometimes in the chaos a big play could happen, but.
Yeah, Smith has been a really fun player to watch. And here's a long high school field goal. This is going to be about 32 yards from East Allegheny. Good snap, good hold, and it's blocked by like 18 people. I don't know if that would have been in because everybody on North Catholic
it's that man again, Daniel Long. I mean, I would not want to block Daniel Long. I mean, that guy does not know quit, does not know stop. He is 110 miles per hour. I mean, we talk about him a lot, but he is just causes complete havoc on whatever line he's on, offensive or defensive line. So just a great rush by the North Catholic. I was hoping we could see a scoop and score there, but trouble, ever picking up a football sometimes is a difficult task.
Yeah, they could quite, it was there for them because if somebody had been able to pick up that ball, they certainly could have scored. And during this changeover here, congratulations to our senior spotlight athletes for September, Kyle Topinski and Jaden Sharpless. You can see their story on how being an athlete at North has impacted them both on the field and in the classroom next week. Be sure to catch their podcast interviews as they sit down with Alex and Ryan to discuss their respective senior seasons in football and soccer. Back to the action. Prentice gets the snap, hands it off to Fennell, who's met immediately in the backfield for a loss of 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, once again, I'm not sure if that was by design or the play call itself, but Prentice kind of did a little bit of a pirouette there, like a spin with that handoff. I'm not sure if that was caused from the snap or kind of a misdirection handoff there, but stopped in the backfield.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I'm also not sure if that was intentional, as North Catholic looks to call in its second down play. 3 wide receivers, tight end in motion from right to left. High snap to Prentice. Prentice gets it and hands it off to Fennell, who is immediately met in the backfield again. And this drive is going backwards for North Catholic.
Once again, a lot of these outside handoffs with that 4-eye, you have that defensive line clogging up the middle, and then you do have some outside linebackers kind of real wide on near the line of scrimmage. So it kind of has that defender zooming in there, ready, looking to break it up.
Third down, 17 yards to go, 2:12 left in the second quarter.
No timeouts for East Allegheny, so maybe this is a safe play call. Let the clock run down, punt it away, go into half up 3 points.
3:29 on the clock.
We have a clock issue or a ball setting issue, but
Very long first half continues. Prentice hands the ball off, I think to Fennell, right up the middle. He gets over the 20-yard line. There was that conservative play call you were thinking was going to be drawn up there, and now we're going to see a punt. And this is an important snap because this is about the same spot on the field on their first drive where the snap was way too low. Daniel Long couldn't even pick it up, and at East Allegheny recovered it for the touchdown. So we definitely want to see a good snap, catch the ball, punt it away, let your excellent defense get out there and try to stonewall the Wildcats and keep this 3-point lead into halftime. Long boots it away. It's not going to be that far. Inside the 50, and Tyler Cannon catches it as it bounces backwards inside North Catholic territory. So even without any timeouts, East Allegheny could make something out of this drive.
yeah, absolutely. Remember there is no 2-minute warning, but over 2 minutes is plenty of time. Good awareness by Tyler Cannon, reading that bounce, not letting the ball give up any more yardage.
Yeah, no 2-minute warning, but the clock does stop temporarily on first downs. That's probably just as good as a 2-minute warning if you can get a couple first downs.
Yeah, but remember, it's set to the ball is set. So sack here would be very advantageous for the North Catholic Trojans. Keep that clock running. Keep East Allegheny rushing.
Smith in the shotgun. He's running. He's going to have to make people miss, and he gets tackled by 2 or 3 Trojans. And there's the sack that you're asking for, Darren.
That was a good rush by the North Catholic Trojans. I think Smith had a receiver open in the flat with a little bit of space to move, but I guess he didn't see him, or that Trojan rush just too much to think otherwise. Just kind of save the ball, keep it for yourself.
Yeah, maybe he felt that somebody would hit that receiver immediately. I don't know. And it is now 2nd and 13, it looks like, for East Allegheny. Smith instructing his receivers where to line up. They've got those stacked wide receivers to the short side of the field. And a fake pitch and screen. And somebody sniffed out that screen really well. It was Kyle Topinski, who's had a whale of a game on defense so far tonight.
Good play design by East Allegheny. Get that orbit motion, that deep motion going the other way, make it seem like something's happening, and then, have the screen right there. Safe play call by East Allegheny in theory, though. You have a chance to maybe spring something there, but it's a high percentage throw. It looks like East Allegheny might be trying to play it safe themselves and keep this game close going into halftime.
Yeah, East Allegheny will get the ball first in the second half with all of their timeouts back this time. And this first half, you've got to consider it a win for them. Coming into North Catholic, which has won this conference a couple years in a row. Smith hits his receiver, Mackay Manor, and there's a broken tackle, 2 broken tackles. Manor has a lot of room. He's getting to the outside and cuts back up the middle, and Manor goes all the way into the end zone, a 46-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that play looked like it was just going to be a short gain, but not a lot of wrapping up by the North Catholic Trojans, and everyone kind of looks around thinking the other person's going to make the play. That's why you got to flow to the ball until the whistle goes. But big play, heads-up play, just keep moving, keep working by East Allegheny now to take the lead.
And he had a receiver blocking Chase Arrington way downfield. And Arrington still almost got him, but that block gave Manor the ability to fake out Arrington, cut back into the middle of the field, and go all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, that was definitely more of just a safe play call, trying to get some field position, and it turned into something big. That's why you got to play to the end of the half.
Point after this time is good for East Allegheny, and they're up 14-10 now. The first minute and the last minute of this half have been terrible for the Trojans, and they've dominated, I feel like, everything in between. And
but that's how this game goes. I said East Allegheny has athletes. You give them an opportunity, they can make plays. You got to make sure you play to the whistle. You can't have these mental mistakes, because it doesn't matter if you have more yardage, more turnovers. At the end of the day, it's just the scoreboard. You only need a couple big plays, sometimes change the game, and I think North Catholic needs one right now to kind of get momentum. They do have 2 timeouts left. I think now's the time to be aggressive. Let's try to take some shots, especially, we haven't really tested their defensive backs constantly. I know we had the one nice play there, but I think they need to really try to go for it.
Yeah, if you're going to test down the field, I'd probably go away from Gaynor. He looked really good on that play, but he is only one of their defensive backs. There's got to be somebody else that
I would
you would
really
like to
try
target.
to hit big Kyle Topinski. I mean, he's 6'3", 220 pounds, tall target, open field threat. I think you got to get the ball in his hands. So let's see what type of kick they go here. If they go a little line drive, keep the ball to the returner's hands, or if they take their chances and kick it deep.
It's going to be a squib kick, but it goes all the way back to Fennell. He picks it up, and he's going to be hit by a couple of East Allegheny players. The squib kick does its job, and North Allegheny is going to have about 70 yards to go. Sorry, North Catholic's going to have about 70 yards to go in 43 seconds, but they do have 2 timeouts and a bunch of wide receivers who are fast and big, strong.
Yeah, that was best case scenario for East Allegheny. Great kick coverage there. Stay in their lane, surrounded the runner. I mean, I saw Fennell with the ball, and he had no outlet. So kudos to East Allegheny's special teams right there to kind of make it a harder issue. But we're looking like a knee right now, Sean.
Yeah, North Catholic looks like they're going to knee the ball, but don't go away from the broadcast just yet after this knee. We are going to have Ryan Berry interviewing Coach Agulia out on the field once this half ends. North Catholic may have to kneel it down one more time, I think, before we get to that. And then we can get you down to the field with Ryan Berry and a coach's interview as we start halftime. And then after that, we will be sending you to the Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show. And then after that, we'll be back live with our 2021 Homecoming Court presentation. That is the first half. North Catholic doesn't have to kneel it down again. Very quickly on the scoring, as I said, first minute and last minute of the half were great for East Allegheny. They get a touchdown. They recover a fumble in the end zone. Then North Catholic gets a safety. It was 7-2. Prentice had a 1-yard touchdown run with 2:41 left in the first quarter. North Catholic took a 10-7 lead. And then East Allegheny, that 46-yard touchdown catch and run by Mackay there at the end of the first half. And the Trojans, this is not really what we were expecting from this game. We thought it might be close, but I think we expected North Catholic to have a lead at the half. The Trojans are trailing by 4. And Darren, I'll get your thoughts on that first half when we return for the second half. Right now, again, we're going to go to Ryan Berry with a coach's interview, hopefully on the sideline. After that, you'll get the Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show. And then stay tuned for our 2021 Homecoming Court presentation.
Coach, what did you tell the team after those first couple possessions to be able to get those scores and get back into the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to stick to our game plan. I mean, we got a talented team. I mean, East Allegheny's playing hard. So I know Coach O'Shea's playing in the locker room right now. We just got to get back to basics and do what we're good at.
Yeah, there's 2 big plays on special teams, a block punt and a block field goal. How big was that to get energy in the sidelines, and how do you hope to carry that into the second half?
Yeah, I mean, special teams have been huge for us, especially in a game like this where we're having a little trouble moving the ball, obviously. So, that play there, and we were able to get good field position. JD said he was in, but we'll take a quarterback sneak there to get us, and then obviously the blocked field goal as well. So we'll look to do more of that in the second half.
Lastly, what do you guys need to improve on in the second half to be able to come back and get this W?
Well, I mean, from what I'm responsible for, special teams, the first thing we got to do is we got to cover, kick coverage right to start off the second half. If we do that, that sets the tone. We get them back at their 20, 25-yard line, and our defense is good. They had a breakdown there in that last touchdown. So, once again, just getting back to the fundamentals of what we can do, and, just confidence. Just getting kids up and letting them know that we're capable of coming back and winning this football game.
Hey, thank you, Coach, for your time.
Thanks,
Good luck
guys.
in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of the halftime show on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, Dawn Rebel, Chris Harlan. Our little get-together sponsored by SC Tire and Export Tire, your local tire experts. They work hard to earn your business. They have your size tire in stock installed today. All the best brands at the best tire prices. SC Tire, Route 51, Bell Vernon, Export Tire, Old William Penn Highway and Export. Check out their Google reviews if you're shopping for tires online. Well, every week we get together with Chris, and he offers his expertise on certain particular subjects. So this time we would get his expertise on the subject of Chris Harlan. This is let us begin with the first ever Chris Harlan press conference.
I'm used to asking questions. I'm not used to answering questions.
He's a nervous Nelly. All right, first question for Chris Harlan. Let's get a little check on your background. You don't have to go into full detail, but how did you get started in the business, and how did this business lead you to the Trib Live High School Sports Network?
Growing up in Newcastle, I was always a sports fan. I went to Slippery Rock University, was editor of their college paper up there, The Rocket. Shout out to all the people working at The Rocket still today. And after college, went to Beaver County Times and worked there for about 9 years, I'd say, and then came down to the Trib. And all the way, I covered a lot of stuff over the years, enjoyed it, and I can't complain. I like it. Now I've been to the Trib, I think, 11 years now, 12 years. So
wow.
It's been fun.
All right. So we get the background out of the way. Let's start.
That wasn't too
painful.
painful.
Yeah, see. 6A, we've talked about it between the two of us, on the air, off the air. 6A football. With the fact that realignment's coming for over the next 2 years, and there's probably not going to be a whole lot of help moving up, and there could be some teams moving down. Can 6A football and the WPIAL be fixed?
I think the big question is how many schools are even going to have next time. I mean, what are we at 8 right now? I mean, that could go to 7. It could go to 6. As more and more schools get bigger on the East, the numbers here end up dropping. I think that they should do something where they combine 5 and 6. I do think that's the only real solution because, there's a lot of teams in there, especially the small 6As and the big 5As. There's not a big difference between them. I understand some of them don't want to play Central Catholic or play North Allegheny. Right. But, look at Pine Richland. They're a 5A school now. They were a 6A school for a number of years here. I think the only option really is to somehow come up with a combined 6A, 5A, and then come up with a way to send separate teams to the state playoffs, a 6A qualifier and a 5A qualifier.
We're going to be, come next week, everything will be conference play. 10 of the 17 conferences began last week in WPIAL football. Now we're starting to talk about games being canceled again, and a handful of games canceled for this upcoming weekend. Do you feel now that it's probably inevitable that come playoff time, there's going to be some games that are affected by the ongoing pandemic?
It sure looks like it. I was a little more optimistic a couple weeks ago because it was few and far between the cancellations. But as you see now, we're getting into more conference play. You're seeing more and more games get canceled, and at this point, there's no way to make those games up. So if they've said they're going to declare them no contests if it's caused by COVID cases, and team doesn't have enough people to play. So yeah, I think you're going to have some troubles down the road, and it may be like last year where they end up having to have the football committee make the decision on who's in and who's not.
Yeah. All right, halfway through, the Chris Harlan press conference will continue, and the halftime show continues on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Install today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires and we do them right. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at Export Tire. We do tires and we do them right. If it has wheels, we have the tires. Export Tire, your commercial tire headquarters.
Halftime show continues on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We're with Chris Harlan. It is the first ever Chris Harlan press conference. Chris, favorite high school sport to cover?
Oh, I think it's football. I like football. I like the state basketball tournament the best. If you're talking about just the tournament and the thing, I think the basketball tournament is probably the most fun to cover. Just general sport, I think football is the most. Where it's once a week, you get a nice build up to every game. Kind of the way the NFL is too. You get that whole week of build. So I think football, no doubt. But baseball is nice weather.
Indeed. Well, later in the season.
Sometimes.
All right, Mount Rushmore. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of WPIAL football coaches?
Oh, football coaches. Current, all time, we're saying?
All time.
All time. I think you got to talk about Jim Render has to be on that list. He's got to be there. Other guys like Jack McCurry, I think you got to consider. Having a shout out to my alma mater, Phil Breidenbach, is a name from the past.
Sure.
I don't know. I think that's a tough one. I think that's a tough one for me.
Well, you gave me three. You just need to give me one more.
I don't know, because there's two guys right now who I think should be on there are Bill Chirpak and Bob Palko, two active guys right now who I think when all is said and done, those guys definitely should be on that list.
All right, Mount Rushmore of, we'll make this a little easier, WPIAL football players that you have seen.
Oh, that I've seen. Okay. Now, we got to put Terrell Pryor and Darrell Rivas on that list. Those two guys, I saw them tremendous. Darrell, my favorite story about him was he was a sophomore, and I ran into him and I asked him how to spell his name because we kept spelling his name wrong. 2 R's, 1 L, 2 L's, 1 R. And I said, how do you spell your name? And he said, it doesn't matter. He was a sophomore. But now everybody knows how to spell his name. So I always enjoy that he went on to be one of the most recognizable names. 2 more. How about recently? I might put Phil Dracovic on that list. He was really good at Pine Richland, just what he was able to do at the highest level as a quarterback. And one more. Oh, man. One more. Any suggestions from you, Don, for that 4th spot?
LeVar?
He was before my time.
Breston
could be on there. He was at the very early stages.
Buzz Lusney?
But let's put Buzz Lusney. I can't go wrong with Buzz Lusney. He was just playing both sides of the ball at Hopewell. Buzz Lusney's on there for me.
Best football team that you ever saw?
Oh. I think some of these Pine Richland teams were good. Some of those Aliquippa teams, I think like the Rivas Aliquippa team might have been really good for what they were able to do. Again, one of those Buzz Lusney Hopewell teams. That's hard to say. That's hard. I'm throwing a few in the hat and you can pull a name out.
My pat answer to that is the 04 Central Catholic team. They were absolutely dominant, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Finally, last question. Best game that you ever covered?
Oh, best game. Oh. I would probably say it might be the championship game in terms of just excitement was maybe the the Russell Shell, Mike Caputo championship game at Heinz Field, when those two guys were the stars all year and they just went back and forth scoring touchdowns all night. I mean, that's one of the few games in my mind where there was so much hype and so much buildup, and it lived up to the hype. Rarely do you see that. So that might be top on my list.
And with that, we wrap up the first ever Chris Harlan press conference. See, it wasn't as painful as you thought it was going to be. The press conference has been sponsored by SC Tire and Export Tire, your local tire experts. They have your size tire in stock installed today. Check out their Google reviews if you're shopping online. For Chris Harlan, I'm Don Rebel. Enjoy the second half of the game you are checking out on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Good evening and welcome to North Catholic's Homecoming Court presentation for 2021. We are so excited to welcome back the tradition of introducing the court and naming a queen tonight. Let's begin with our class representatives. First, we have freshman representative Sienna Caza. Sienna is being escorted by Dante Prentice. Sienna is a member of the North Catholic volleyball team. Outside of school, Sienna enjoys playing club volleyball. Her favorite quote is, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Her favorite high school memory is winning her first volleyball game at North Catholic. Sienna's future plans include graduating from North Catholic and playing college volleyball. Please welcome Sienna Caza. Next, we have sophomore representative Annie Schluppe. Annie's escort is Devin Pascal. Annie is a member of the North Catholic lacrosse team and the North Catholic tennis team. Outside of North Catholic, Annie is a member of the True Lacrosse Club and the Lightning Lacrosse Club. Her favorite quote is from Henry Ford. "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right." Annie's favorite high school memory is the bus going to and from lacrosse games with her team members. Annie's future plans include becoming a business major at college while playing lacrosse. Please welcome Annie Schluppe. Our junior representative is Amanda Esser. Amanda is being escorted by Alex Metzinger. Amanda is a member of North Catholic the National Honor Society and the varsity girls volleyball team. Outside of North Catholic, Amanda volunteers in the community, tutoring grade school students. She enjoys spending time with her friends and is always up for a good game of spikeball. Amanda's favorite quote is from Roy T. Bennett, "Be the reason somebody smiles today." Her favorite high school memory is winning the Wpil volleyball championship her sophomore year. Amanda's future plans, including attending college, possibly following in her brother's footsteps at Ohio State, or heading south. Please welcome Amanda Esser. Now for our senior members of the homecoming court. First, we have Faith Benson. Faith is being escorted by her father, Troy Benson. Faith is a varsity cheer captain, the vice president of National Honor Society, and a 12th grade student council representative. Outside of North Catholic, Faith volunteers as a youth cheer coach, enjoys spending time with her family and friends, and playing with her 2 puppies. Faith's favorite quote is, "Dare to be different." Her favorite high school memory is cheering at the football games on Friday nights. Faith's future plans include attending college with a major in international relations. Please welcome Faith Benson. Next, we have Ava Smith. Ava is being escorted by her father, Jeff Smith. Ava is a North Catholic cheer captain, a member of the North Catholic varsity track team, and a member of the National Honor Society. When not at North Catholic, Ava works at Meadows Custard, loves to babysit, has been a competitive cheerleader for 8 years, and is a junior Ironman coach. Ava's favorite quote is, "It's a great day to have a great day." Ava's favorite high school memory is running the girls 4x100 at Wpil's her junior year. Her future plan is to go to college and major in nursing. Please welcome Ava Smith. Next, we have Jaden Sharpless. Jaden is being escorted by her father, DJ Sharpless. Jaden is the captain of the North Catholic girls soccer team. When not at North Catholic, she is a member of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and a member of the Developmental Academy ECNL team. Jaden's favorite quote is, "When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have had a single bit of talent left and could say, 'I used everything you gave me,'" by Irma Bombeck. Her favorite high school memory is winning the Wpil for the first time in North Catholic high school girls soccer history. Jaden plans on attending Georgia State University on an athletic scholarship to pursue a degree in law. Please welcome Jaden Sharpless. Next, we have Quinn Beitler. Quinn is being escorted by her father, Quentin Beitler. Quinn is a member of the North Catholic tennis team and the North Catholic lacrosse team. When not at North Catholic, Quinn works at Avaya Brick Oven, is a co-founder of a sub-ministry of the Clinton Killian Cupboard, and is the co-chair with one of her best friends to help raise money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Her favorite quote is, "You are enough." Quinn's favorite high school memory is winning volleyball states sophomore year. Her future plans would include making great memories, graduating from college, and to travel the world. Please welcome Quinn Beitler. Next is Scarlett Grill. Scarlett is being escorted by her father, James Grill. Scarlett spends time studying and maintaining the highest honor roll. When she is not at North, she spends most of her time with her grandfather, likes to go hiking with her mom and dog sits. Her favorite quote is, "She believed she could, so she did." Her favorite high school memory includes having her favorite teacher from freshman year, Mrs. Steininger, one last time in her senior year. She plans to attend college and major in business. Please welcome Scarlett Grill. Finally, we have Gia Sircone. Gia is being escorted by her father, John Sircone. She is a varsity cheer captain and is a member of the North Catholic track team. Outside of North Catholic, Gia is a volunteer cheer coach for Ironmen and Celios cheer programs and enjoys spending time with her family and friends. Her favorite quote is, "Dream big, work hard, stay focused, and surround yourself with good people." Her favorite high school memory is placing in the Wpil Track and Field Championships in the 4x100 relay in 2021. She plans on attending a 4-year university and majoring in secondary education. Please welcome Gia Sircone. Let's hear it one more time for our 2021 homecoming court. And now to announce our queen. Drum roll, please. And your 2021 North Catholic homecoming queen is Quinn Beitler. Congratulations to our 2021 North Catholic homecoming court.
Welcome back from half, and before we get to the start of the third quarter action, let's catch you up on where we've been. East Allegheny started out the scoring in the first quarter off of a blocked punt that they recovered for a touchdown. Trojans scored next on a safety, and they followed that up with a touchdown later in that same quarter, followed up with a two-point conversion, getting them the 10-7 lead. After that, it's been all Wildcats. Wildcats got a touchdown there under a minute to go in the game to give themselves, in the half I should say, to give themselves the lead 14-10. As of right now, things that need to be better. Tackling was horrible in that half for the Trojans. They need to be better at that. Special teams needs to be shored up, especially in the punting game. On the defensive special team side, they've been fantastic. Offense needs to be much better. They have to get some passes complete. They only have one pass complete in this game of note to Liam Straub. The rest has been all on the ground. They got to get the running game going. They got to get the passing game going. If that happens, this Trojans team will win the game, and also, above all, no penalties. Sean Malone and Darren Lyles got you the start of the second half. Coming up next.
And thank you, Alex. Alex did a wonderful job, I think, summing up that half there, Darren. And the stat that he threw out that I hadn't thought about was only one completed pass for North Catholic. that was about 25-yard pass to Liam Straub. That's really surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, you got athletes out there for a reason. You got to get the ball in their hands. I mean, I would always say North Catholic's receiving corps is one of their strengths. You got big, tall targets that can definitely make plays with the ball in their hands. So you definitely got to see a little bit more consistency in the passing game moving forward.
Yeah, and then Alex isn't one to mince words, called that a horrible first half for North Catholic, but only down by 4. And if you can come out of a half and someone would describe it as horrible, and you're only down by 4, your team is still in an okay place.
I mean, if we take away 2 plays, we're looking at a 10-0, maybe even more lead by North Catholic, and we're talking about how well they dominated. But one play where people all kind of just looked around and thought the other guy would make the tackle, and then one bad snap, 2 bad snaps in a row, and then we have a 14-10 lead for East Allegheny.
And East Allegheny is going to get the ball first. All right, this is about as crucial of a beginning of the half drive, I think, as you could have. North Catholic needs to stop East Allegheny here. The end of that half just has to leave a really bad taste in their mouth, and you don't want to give any more momentum up to East Allegheny than what they gained with that long pitch and catch touchdown at the end of the first half. And we are underway in the second half. Daniel Long kicks it deep at about the 20-yard line. Picked up by Gaynor. Gaynor going to the outside. He's got a little bit of the edge, and he stops at about the 35-yard line. And even on that, the way that he just ran out of bounds and stood there as North Catholic players flooded past him, that was a little bit cocky there from Gaynor. East Allegheny, it looks to me, is playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, a lot of swagger. I mean, this is definitely one of those teams when the skill players get going, they think they're untouchable. So you really got to make some plays here, because, I mean, that's what it comes down to. North Catholic's winning the battle in the trenches right now, especially on the defensive side. But, East Allegheny, like I said, they always have really good skill players, guys that could, make a play. So, I mean, East Allegheny might not be the better team, but they have guys who can make those splash plays that, keep them in a game and, get them a 4-point lead on a couple plays. So.
Yeah, Mackay Manor had that long touchdown catch. Mike Smith, of course, the quarterback, has been excellent. And there's a fumbled snap. Smith met immediately, and it takes 4 people to tackle him still.
Yeah, the tackling has been great this year, but I think that's just kind of a product of the times that a lot of these kids come up in. I mean, for good reasons, Sean, for very good reasons. When I played football, you did Bull the Ring, you did Oklahoma's, you did a lot of live tackling. Now that we know about concussions and CTE and brain injuries, for lack of a better term, there's not as much live tackling in camp, so you're not practicing as much, and that's good for those kids because that's good for their head health. But what you see on game days is a lot of sloppy tackling.
Yeah, especially when the person you're trying to tackle is as slippery as Mike Smith has been tonight. As many times as he's been sacked, he's made things better than they could have been. And there's going to be a dropped pass from Mackay Manor. Good coverage from Maziar's there.
Big third down. We've seen Smith, and that's the thing about a shifty quarterback like that, is it does open up those big plays. Coverages break off, rush lanes get broken down. It leads to some, opportunities. So really big job here from North Catholic, keeping contained. If you get to him, you have to bring him down.
Smith in the shotgun with 5 wide receivers. He's going to throw it quick over the middle. He had an open receiver there. I don't know if they would have got the first down, but that's exactly what the North Catholic defense wanted there, a 3-and-out in under a minute for East Allegheny, and now their offense can go to work. When North Catholic gets the ball on offense, is there any adjustments that you want to see them make from that first half?
I mean, I'd really like to see, like I said, a little bit more consistency with the snaps. A lot have been high, and especially in these spread offenses where you have a lot of moving parts, a lot of motion, that just can ruin a play with the timing. So if we can see some more consistent snaps in the chest, and I know it's hard to make the snap, go hard and make the block, but I think just something simple as that, just solid snaps, I think you go a long way for North Catholic.
Yeah, that's a wonderful point. And we saw Tyler Primrose practicing a lot of snaps on the sideline during halftime, and that is not a very deep punt that was almost blocked.
Maybe a fingertip got on that, not a full block, but a little bit of a deflection here.
49-yard line for North Catholic. So you mentioned this earlier. Do you think that those difficulties, I guess you think those difficulties with the snaps might be a product of, this is Tyler Primrose's first year as the center?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know how many of these kids that, the last 3 years have played center long term. When I was in high school, our center started as a sophomore and all through high school. He also played center his entire life. He was a lifelong center. He's used to making snaps, used to doing all the stuff. Taking that snap and first step. It's a different footwork as well when you're snapping the ball. So it's a lot to ask of these guys. You play tackle for a year or two, then all of a sudden you move inside and are snapping the ball.
And this time it gets Fennell. Fennell's a little bit to the outside, and boy, 2 East Allegheny defenders. That's Smith and Gaynor.
Yeah, East Allegheny definitely has the athletes to match North Catholic. A lot of times we see North Catholic's athletes make these big plays, but you really see if there's an opening or a lane that can often get closed down by these East Allegheny defenders.
Yeah, Fennell has really been bottled up tonight besides one long run. Chase Harrington hasn't had that much action, but he's been playing a tough defensive corner position all night on some of those East Allegheny athletes that you mentioned. 2nd and 10 for North Catholic. The line for East Allegheny is doing such a good job of not jumping on those Prentice hard counts. The linebackers are all taking a step forward, but the line is just real stationary. Prentice scrambling to his right, and he's going to be caught, and throws it in front of him. He was outside the tackle box. Does that negate any intentional grounding?
If you're outside the tackle box, you get a little leeway with which you can throw. I wasn't sure if there was a receiver somewhat in the area or not. I think we might have a little bit of a conference here to see what's going on. But at number 2, again, very athletic linebacker, getting in there, making the play.
And it looks like they are going to call intentional grounding on Prentice. And again, the first person to Prentice is able to grab a hold of him and wrap him up. And that is rare. Normally that's a play where Joey Prentice makes that guy miss. Kai Mitchell forcing that intentional grounding there. It's going to be 3rd and a long way here for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, I believe it's at the spot of the foul. Once again, I'm not sure what constitutes that with outside the tackle box, because he was definitely near the sidelines when that throw was made. But
he was certainly outside the tackle box. When you're outside the tackle box, does it matter if the receiver is in the area? I don't think it does.
Yeah, I didn't think it does either.
So the only thing that
maybe the high school rules are different
is that the ball didn't get past the line of scrimmage.
That might be it.
And it was right in that area, and I think the referees must have determined that the ball did not get past the line of scrimmage. And now we're at a 3rd and 29 for North Catholic. They need to go all the way to the 41-yard line of East Allegheny. We've seen the Trojans go pretty conservative in these situations and then just let their defense go to work. Kyle Topinski has it. He spins away from one defender, bounces off 3 or 4 more, and is finally brought down after about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is East Allegheny is doing a very good job on the form tackling. You definitely see the wrapping. I think a lot of, we see in football big hits. Everyone talks about big hits, but something simply is just wrapping up the ball carrier. Don't let it go. It's such a fundamental thing that's important for teams. Everyone likes to see the big hits, but it's more important to get the guy to the ground.
And the Trojan offense stalls on its first possession. Daniel Long is back to punt. 9:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Long boots it away, and it's a pretty good one. Received at the 29-yard line by Smith. Smith gets hit, and that's just great punt coverage.
Yeah, great punt coverage, good form tackles, gang tackles, everyone worked to it. I think he had a combination of comedy and Tyler Cannon there on that coverage.
Yeah, Tyler Cannon, one of the few players out there without any gloves on. I always like to see that in baseball. It just seems real old school to me when you get somebody out there in a baseball or football field, bare hands. It feels like he fit in right in the 1950s or something. Yeah. East Allegheny takes over at their own 32-yard line. North Catholic has lived in the East Allegheny backfield tonight. East Allegheny did get that one touchdown, long passing catch. But right there, the running back had no room at all.
Little combination of Primrose and Long right there.
Yeah, we've called their names a lot tonight, along with Lucius Marbella, who gave us the thrill of the lineman touchdown, in our previous broadcast. We'd love to see another one of those, but those are pretty rare.
Kind of an interesting formation here. The receivers kind of far out.
Perhaps East Allegheny is trying to spread out the Trojan defense and then run it up the middle, as that's what they've tried 2 times in a row.
Wasn't as split as I thought he usually should be. Almost like a half receiver, half running back kind of positioning there. I don't know what was up with that formation. East Allegheny definitely running the ball a little bit here. A, killing clock, and B, having to keep the North Catholic defense honest. They can't just drop back into passing lanes and pin their ears back and just rush the quarterback. They got to respect the running back, the potential of the run as well.
Yeah, I wonder if they thought about the fact that they got 55 seconds off the clock on their first offensive possession, and they really wanted to get rid of. And Lucius Marbella looked like he was almost tackled there. He's getting up looking for a flag. No flag, but also no catch for East Allegheny, and we're going to get another Wildcat punt.
Yeah. I said heavy rush by North Catholic. Getting in Smith's face all day. I just feel like eventually maybe a strip sack might be coming.
Marbella has really been impressive this whole season. I think he's someone who got not a lot of playing time his first 3 years, as opposed to the other players he's sharing that line with. Tyler Primrose has been excellent since he was a sophomore. Daniel Long has been in there since he was a sophomore. Marbella coming through as a senior. Another short kick. And
sometimes you got to make the best of opportunities. You got one shot, go out there and make your plays when you have your chance. You waited your entire high school career for the season, make the most of it.
And Trojan offense is out there. It looks like Harrington is out there to be the running back. .7:51 in the third quarter. So that was basically 3 minutes to just get the ball back where North Catholic started, right on the 41-yard line. A little bit further back than their last possession.
I am
but
seeing
still good
East
field
Allegheny
position.
respect the over-top pass a little bit more here. This might be a nice opportunity to run.
And let's see if Prentice can. He squirts up the middle for about 4 or 5 yards.
It's an old case of give what they give, take what they give you. If there's not a lot of guys in the box and you can find a lane, go ahead and take it. If they're playing close to the line, it might be time to take a shot. I think at this point in the game, though, with East Allegheny up, they might be a little bit more conservative with their defensive calls, giving a little more coverage over the top so they don't get burnt on a long touchdown here.
North Catholic players looking at the sideline, trying to get the play call. Trojans, of course, running a no-huddle offense. All the plays coming in from the sideline. 4 wide receivers. Chase Harrington in the backfield. Liam Straub now in motion from Prentice's right to his left. Prentice keeps it. He's hit in the backfield. He fumbles it too. And that's going to be... Prentice was trying to pass it to Popinski, but because it was backwards, I think that is going to be a fumble. And East Allegheny has it on the 32 or 33-yard line.
Yeah, that's the case of just trying to do too much. We've seen him make that play before where he comes out of nowhere, but I don't think he's really prepared for the athletes that he's seeing at East Allegheny. We see the defensive backs or linebackers zooming towards the ball. Sometimes you just got to eat that play and come back to live another day.
Yeah, we've said Prentice doesn't look that affected by his leg, but maybe it's on those plays where he normally makes that first guy miss, that he's just being slowed just a tad, and it's enough to have put him in situations where he's so desperate to avoid the sack that there he tries an ill-advised lateral to Topinski.
Yeah, and if you ever played backyard football, flag football, where you have kind of a line and a rush, once you experience that, even if it's just in the backyard, you can tell your decision making. It's not as easy as it looks from up here. Sometimes a lot of things fly and you're trying to do something. So
East Allegheny with maybe a sideline warning there. Oh no, it was in fact a sideline interference penalty, and they're going to march the ball backwards.
It appears to be a personal foul penalty, so a big gift there for North Catholic Trojans.
some more discussions between the East Allegheny coach and official. Smith on the 49-yard line, his own 49. Another strange formation. The snap goes over his head. Let's see if Smith can get to it. The ball's still rolling around, and Smith is going to fall on it on the 22-yard line.
That was a chance right there for something big to happen. Ball was popping around like a hot potato, but at least now it's going to be, I don't know, 2nd and 40.
2nd and 40.
Well,
So
the first down mark is at the North Catholic 40, and the yard marker right now appears to be at the East Allegheny 23. So I'm not good at math. I am a social studies teacher, Sean. You did teach math. Maybe you could do the math for me and tell me what yardage we have.
I think that they put 2nd and 38 up on the scoreboard.
That was close.
If I'm looking at the ball, I can't even have their first down marker like in my peripheral vision. That's how far apart they are on this football field. 2nd and 38. You got to figure East Allegheny is going to be pretty conservative here. Just gonna, it's gonna be a shovel pass. Oh, the opposite of conservative, and I think North Catholic might have gotten away with some pass interference there.
I think the ref might have been distracted for number 6 going up and getting the ball. Luckily, Liam Straub stays with the play, though. But you got to give credit for East Allegheny after a huge loss like that, just swinging for the fences, trying to take advantage of kind of the chaos and get themselves right back into it.
The exact opposite of what I said they were probably going to do. they went for a kill shot 35 yards down the field. A wide receiver pass. That was a great play call from East Allegheny.
Great ball by the wide receiver too. Maybe not the regular quarterback, throwing it on a dime.
I don't think they've targeted number 5 yet tonight. Maybe he's just in there as the extra quarterback. Pass over the middle is intercepted by Topinski, and Topinski has nothing but green field in front of him. One player, and it is Smith with a touchdown.
What a great play! Great. There's something called the tip drill, Sean, where you literally throw someone on the ball, they tip it up in the air, and you have to find it and try to catch it. Topinski being aware, getting the interception. This is what North Catholic needed. Their offense has been stagnant, but the defense really needed, much like the Steelers we see, to make a play and bolt them. So let's see if the North Catholic offense kind of fold a bit together. Don't shoot themselves in the foot. Let's move the ball forward, not backwards on a drive, and see what we can do with that.
Yeah, there have been a lot of drives from North Catholic that have gone backwards, but it seems like when they get the ball inside the 10-yard line, they're pretty good at stuffing it in the end zone.
I just want to mention, Sean, that's another case, East Allegheny now having that high bad snap. We see with these offenses how much you throw off timing, gives the rushers an extra chance when you're trying to find the ball. That's why it's imperative to have these clean snaps.
There's a pretty clean snap, handoff to Topinski, and he darts up the middle into the end zone. So after the interception, Kyle Topinski with a 5-yard touchdown.
That's a big Kyle Topinski double play. You have the interception, you have the touchdown. And I just want to point out, I don't think TV does justice, even sitting in the stands does justice, how big some of these North Catholic players are. Like, if you see Kyle Topinski, you could put him in an NFL locker room and he wouldn't stick out. All right, he is 6'3", 220 pounds. You have Kyle Maziarz, about 6'3". You have Daniel Long, who is all of 220 pounds solid. We have some big kids on this North Catholic team. And like I said, video feed, sometimes even seeing in the stands doesn't do justice. So it's time to use that size to their advantage.
And Marsico just puts it through the uprights. It is 17-14 now in favor of North Catholic. That was an impressive run there from Topinski. Last year we saw him a lot at running back, and he would tend to try to bounce things outside, but that was a committed run to the inside. He made one cut and drove into the end zone. That was a really good run by Topinski.
Yeah, that was great blocking. I mean, I'd love to see the blocking be more consistent because, the fact that he got moved out to slot, the fact they don't want him as their running back and feel he's more useful as a receiver, just really speaks to how much faith they have in Chase Harrington and Jack Fennell. So I'd really like to see those guys get an opportunity, find a little space, use their athletic abilities, and maybe get some big plays as well.
They have turned to Topinski at key moments so far in the season. There, when they needed those 5 yards, they
he appears to kind of a shift in as the power back. I mean, it's one of those things. What would you rather tackle? 6'3", 220, or I think Fennell goes maybe 185. So you have 30, 40-pound difference almost, depending on, I don't know exactly Fennell's weight or Harrington's weight. But
even going back to the Blackhawk game, when North Catholic was just trying to run some plays, take time off the clock at the end, they were jet handoffs to Topinski. So they really seemed to trust him with the ball in situations where they know they're not going for like a long. They don't want a long yardage run necessarily. They just want a safe.
I mean, that's what you expect out of your seniors. You expect them. They might not always make the biggest play, but you can always trust them to not make the bad play. You know, short hands, keep hold of the ball. You know, get some yardage if you need to. Ball forward.
So North Catholic up 17-14, 5:37 left. Daniel Long boots it deep. And this one is picked up by Smith at about the 10-yard line. Makes the first person miss, and he almost had room down the sideline with a good play to force him out of bounds by the North Catholic coverage team.
Yeah, he juked that first defender out of his shoes and then just shuffled up for some good yardage. He almost had an opportunity to really pin East Allegheny back.
Yeah, it was Justin Greaser knocked him out of bounds there. That was a pretty good play by Greaser because Smith had a lot of room up the sideline.
I saw it open up a little bit. I was a little nervous about it, but.
Wildcats will have it 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line.
So big defensive drive here. Can North Catholic continue to play some stout defense? You know, be the defense that we saw majority game, not the last play of the first half.
Yeah, outside of that manner play, East Allegheny has done nothing.
Yeah, you had one long pass and the one pass interference, and pretty much, yeah, it's been pretty stagnant on the East Allegheny side as well for offense.
Yeah, both of these teams, I feel like what their defense is on the field. Maybe they just want to go defense against defense. No offenses at all. And there's another high snap. Smith tries to pick it up. He does. And he fumbles it. North Catholic picks up the ball. And down at the 1-yard line.
I almost
had another lineman touchdown.
But big play there, taking opportunity. Man, did you know, East Allegheny doing their best North Catholic impression when they're struggling with some high snaps. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to be the beneficiary of those mental errors. And you know,
yeah, that's about the third time I think they've snapped it over Smith's head tonight.
Well, I just think that's really attributed to Lucius Montebello blowing up the center every play. I mean, with these three-man fronts, you have someone right in front of your face. You have to snap and be able to block. So sometimes you start thinking a little too much about the block and not enough about the snap, and that's why we see these high snaps from these centers.
So North Catholic, 1st and goal from the 1. They could score 2 touchdowns in 20 seconds here if they score on this play. Their last score came at 5:37.
Sean, you want to bet this is a QB sneak?
And it definitely is. And Prentice just slowly walks into the end zone almost behind that big offensive line.
It's the only play they have under center, but I don't know how. I mean, it doesn't get stopped more. But once again, you have Joey Prentice, who's 6'3", well over 200 pounds, running behind Tyler Primrose, Justin Smith in the interior line, getting that touchdown.
So North Catholic, after scoring on a Topinski 5-yard touchdown run at 5:37, scores there on a Prentice 1-yard touchdown run at 5:22. And with a Marsico extra point, it'll be 24-14. Let's see if this one can be converted successfully by Ethan. Snap is good. Kick is up, and wow. He really booted that one.
Yeah, the last one barely made it through. This one looked like he got an extra 20, 30 yards if he wanted for it.
Yeah, maybe he was mad about that first kick. And North Catholic is up 24-14. And we've had a major momentum shift here in the last 2 minutes. Darren, I want your thoughts on that after we tell you that our girls volleyball team returns to Barth and Graham Court this week on Tuesday evening when they welcome Avonworth. Our coverage starts at 7 p.m. Tuesday right here on the North Catholic Sports Network and Trib Live High School Sports Network. And I will be able to broadcast that game, Mr. Hoffman, if you'll have me, although Alex Brown and Ryan Berry, I think, did a nice job on the first game. But back to this football game, North Catholic up 24-14. One of the star volleyball players for the team, their setter Sydney Jones. I don't know if you stayed for all the Powder Puff games.
Big fly route touchdown. I was facing the other end zone watching her run towards me, breaking free. So it was quite the impressive play with time expiring. So
yeah, I think she bobbled the ball when she caught it. Speaking of Topinski with the tip drill
good
earlier.
hand-eye coordination. I guess that's what you want as a setter, right? You have to be able to pick up that ball in motion.
You're right. She probably could have just set it to herself all the way down the field without even catching it. And the kickoff is down the field, and East Allegheny player almost gets away. I think that was Smith. East Allegheny, what can they do on offense here, Darren?
East Allegheny, I'm sending my skill guys deep. I mean, it's definitely, we've held our breath on a lot of deep passes here. Mike Smith has definitely shown the ability to buy himself time for those receivers to get down the field. But first things first, East Allegheny, I'm hoping I get a clean snap.
Yeah,
So
I mean, can you put Smith under center? Can he back up fast enough and then turn around and throw it deep?
I mean, that's a big ask if it's not regularly in the playbook. I mean, that throws off their footwork. I mean, there's 3-step, 5-step drops, 7-step drops in the traditional under center manner. Usually, most of these, shotgun is 2-3-step drop, maybe a 5 every now and then, but it just totally, utterly changes the footwork. And that's a lot to ask of a high school kid to make that adjustment.
When we watched the Blackhawk game, you made a great point that Blackhawk had multiple offenses that they could go to. They had an under the center offense. They had a shotgun offense. And I think that really gives a high school team a lot of versatility and things to turn to when your normal plays aren't working. And it looks like East Allegheny doesn't have that.
I mean, there's good and bad to that, Sean. I mean, yes, it gives you versatility, but also it's one more thing you have to practice. So in theory, if you only have the one style snap outside of maybe one play, you just focus on that clean exchange, working on those types of plays.
And here's a reverse to Gaynor, and he just bounces off a few tackles, and he slides down after 3 or 4 yards, and Kyle Topinski hops off the field and then falls on the sideline. Hopefully that's just a cramp.
Yeah,
Didn't look like anything happened to him there.
Yeah, I mean, it is hot. It was really hot today. I mean, I was quite toasty down on the powder puff field today, especially with such a cold start. You didn't expect it, so maybe he wasn't thinking about hydration as much. And if anyone's ever had a cramp, you know how debilitating that is. I mean, in my first ever college wrestling match, I had a cramp, and my left leg was not working for a second there. So, I mean, when you see these guys hobble off, it's really because they can't move.
Yeah, but he took about 2 hops and then just fell on the sideline. That would be a big loss.
Well, I'm not seeing the whole training staff and the whole team circle around. I see only one trainer, so I'm hoping it appears they're just stretching him out a second and maybe getting him some fluids, hopefully.
And Tyler Cannon, it looks like, steps in, fills in that linebacker position.
It seems like maybe delay to see if we get Topinski. He's kind of close to the sideline. Maybe get him off the field some.
It looks like one player on the sideline was going to run and get him some water, and maybe they said no. And all the attention is over on Topinski on the sideline.
Yeah, it appears, like I said, it looks like our athletic trainer is stretching him out. So I don't see him, testing any of his joints out there to see, if there's an injury. So it looks to be a good sign.
And out in front of our whiteout student section, the East Allegheny and North Catholic cheerleaders have kind of combined to form a circle. I have no idea
cheer.
A mega cheer?
A mega
have
cheer.
You seen that before?
Yeah, I've actually noticed that the last couple years. I think it's a great show of sportsmanship and just unity. We're all end of the day, just high school kids, living their life. So nice show of sportsmanship by both cheer squads.
Yeah, it looks like they're having fun down there at about the 15-yard line. And we are going to get back to some action, though. Smith throws it to his left, and he overthrows Manor.
Brings up 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats.
So let's see if East Allegheny, attacks the short middle of the field with Kyle Topinski out. A lot of times you see this, a guy gets down with injury, you test his replacement, see if he could do it. So kind of curious to see what play call East Allegheny goes with here.
And Topinski is going towards the bench, and he's really not moving that well right now. Handoff is faked, a pitch by Smith, and the ball comes out. And I think North Catholic falls on it.
And I don't know what was going on there, trying to do a lot with a little, feeling the pressure of a double-digit lead. I don't know who made that initial tackle on the first pitch, but then, it looked like, kind of the play you see at the end of the game when there's no time left and you got to make some magic happen. But North Catholic takes advantage of that.
Yeah, I don't know who recovered the fumble, but the last person on the ground was Tyler Maziar's, and I don't know if you saw this. He was laying on his back, kind of like an overturned turtle. Yeah, just flailing his limbs around, looking for somebody to help him up, and the East Allegheny players just walked right past him. And then he got a teammate to help him up off the field. And North Catholic, the beneficiary again of just great defense, setting this offense up with great field position. It'd be nice to see the offense complete in more than a 10-yard touchdown drive, which they've got an opportunity to do here. They have 34 yards to get into the end zone, and maybe it'll be 39.
So we see slightly bigger set. I think sometimes this formation you might see Kyle Topinski in the backfield, but he's still getting his calf worked out right now. It appears to be a calf cramp, which, hey, Kyle, I feel you. That was mine. So, very debilitating. So we have Chase Arrington in the backfield right now.
So Arrington in the backfield. As you said, a power set, only 2 wide receivers. Prentice gets the snap, gives it off to Arrington. Arrington has some room to run, and he spins off somebody just inside the 35-yard line, maybe down to the 32.
Great job at number 6, staying with that tackle, wrapping up the legs, because it looked like Arrington was about to break a big play there.
He's still got about 7 yards, which is a great play on first down from 1st and 15. It is 2nd and 8 now. The same power set from North Catholic, 2 tight ends, in addition to the 5 offensive linemen. Almost gets East Allegheny to jump there.
Once again, it's the linebackers. Defensive line staying very disciplined.
Arrington moves to the other side of Prentice from his left to his right. Prentice now sets Straub in motion, gets the ball, fakes to Straub. Prentice going up the middle, and he's going to get a first down, still fighting for extra yardage, falls to the ground inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, good play there by Prentice. A little bit of a high snap again, which would have thrown off the timing of that jet sweep, but I think it was a QB keep, so all's well that ends well on a play.
Hey, and look who's back in the game. Kyle Topinski seems to have recovered pretty quickly from that calf injury. He is back in the backfield, still trying to stretch out his legs, though. North Catholic on the 23-yard line. Just about 3 minutes left here. Prentice gets the play from the sideline. It looks like a couple coaches, as well as Oliver Gibson and Justin Greaser on the sideline, making hand motions. Prentice is going to keep it again, struggling forward to about the 20-yard line.
And that was just a smart play by Prentice. We've seen him on this speed option, really at the last second, make that pitch, sometimes force it to, because defense collapses on him, leaves a big hole for Topinski, but smart play, just get a couple yards, keep the possession, don't give a big play up after you've taken advantage of some. Just keep the ball moving forward, live to fight another day.
Yeah, 2nd and 9, a long 1-yard gain there for Joey Prentice. Same 2 tight end set. Could be Robbie Crest and Daniel Long are your tight ends. This time it's a handoff to Topinski, and he's got some room to run. He cuts back towards the middle at about the 10-yard line, barrels over a few people to about the 8, but there is a flag.
And that's the thing you'll see in college and high school football. Sometimes you find ways to get your best athletes the ball. You have to play multiple positions, know multiple positions. Maybe you're running back this play, maybe you're a receiver the other play. But it's really the game of finding your athletes.
And unfortunately, that one is coming back. It's a holding penalty against North Catholic as they're trying to add to their 10-point lead with 2:24 left to go in the 3rd quarter. North Catholic has done all the scoring so far here in the 2nd half. 2 short touchdown drives, a 5-yard run from Topinski, and Joey Prentice's 2nd touchdown of the night on his 2nd quarterback sneak of the night, which, as you said, is the only play that North Catholic runs under center, but yet it works almost every time for 1 yard.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if we'll see a shot eventually from this power set.
Snap goes over Prentice's head, and Prentice finally picks it up at about the 48-yard line. We've seen multiple snaps over the head of Prentice, multiple snaps over the head of Smith, and both of them every single time are trying to pick up the ball and make a play.
Yeah, I think sometimes, when you're such a good athlete like Smith and Prentice, you feel like you could buy some time and, make up the yardage, maybe take a 10-yard loss and turn it into a 5-yard loss, play the field position game. But, sometimes, they say falling it. There's no rule, Sean. Small guys can pick it up, big guys falling it. So, obviously not a big guy, so we think they can make a play there.
Yeah, the ball has just been really hard to pick up for Prentice and Smith.
But both these defenses have a nose tackle, someone directly over the center. So you have that person trying to make a snap and also come out and block. It's very difficult for guys, high school centers. It's not an easy thing to do. So that's why you're going to see some high snaps.
Flag on a play.
That snap that went over Smith's head, I thought was going to produce our longest down and distance of the night. I think it was 3rd and 38. But now we're going to have a 3rd and 41 for North Catholic.
Write that down, Sean. We need to keep that for reference later in the year.
Okay. I'm going to put it on my my lineup sheet for North Catholic. 3rd and 41. And maybe I'll forget about why I wrote that.
Yeah.
We can look at it at a later broadcast. But we've just seemed to have way too many of these on the North Catholic side this year. 3rd and 41. Prentice, of course, is just going to do a keeper. Bouncing it to the outside. There's another penalty. And Prentice is thrown out of bounds. That's got to be a flag.
Wow, 5 yards off the thing. Kind of a questionable call not seeing the flag there. Maybe the refs didn't feel like having offsetting penalties and playing 3rd down again, but that was he was clear out of the white, line that the team's supposed to stand behind, all the way brought down. I don't know how that's not a personal foul.
And maybe that's what Maziarz and Topinski are asking about the officials. That tackle was by the East Allegheny sideline.
I mean, if he takes 2 more steps, he's hitting the bench.
Yeah, I was really surprised not to see a flag thrown there. Maybe they're thinking that Prentice was just still struggling as he was out of bounds.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're struggling or give yourself up. If you're out of bounds by more than 2 steps, that's obviously a personal foul. I mean, I've seen guys a lot closer to the play of field get called for that. So.
Yeah, well, the only foul was holding on North Catholic, which was declined by East Allegheny, which will force a North Catholic punt with 1:11 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Brings up 4th down for the Trojans. Long on to punt.
See if we can have a coffin corner kick here.
Coffin corner kick attempt from Long. He boots it well into the end zone. Well, no, it's almost sits down at the 1 yard line, but rolls into the end zone. So East Allegheny will come out with their offense on the field. 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter.
Daniel Long not realizing his own strength there, give a little too much leg. But once again, punting's maybe the 3rd priority on his list. So,
do you think it's 3rd? Do you think it's ahead of kickoff?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'd say yes. Maybe they're tied. But definitely we would say defensive line and tight end are his first 2 priorities.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He had a lot of pressure on that punt, so I think he was just trying to get it off quickly enough, and he booted it real far.
I think he's getting a little more comfortable with people getting close to him. Because I feel like there's been lesser rushes that he's kind of wanted to pull and run with it. I think he's realizing he has a little more time than he thinks he does when those people are getting close. So that'd be a good thing for some, cleanliness on the
high snap. Smith gets it, and there's a lateral, another trick play from East Allegheny. This one is pretty effective, and this time their guy is tackled out of bounds, close to the 40-yard line.
Well, kind of surprising to see East Allegheny run the trick plays already. I mean, if you see trick plays this early, not even late in the 4th, while you're down, it kind of, to me, reeks a little bit of desperation. Like, hey, your regular plays aren't going to be consistently working. We need to maybe catch them napping and get a big play to really get in this game. So,
how could you not be desperate if you were the East Allegheny offense?
I mean, you still have time to run your offense. You've had some success passing the ball.
They throw up, and it's caught, but well out of bounds, and sliding into the bench is Gaynor. Hopefully he's okay.
Great body positioning by Chase Harrington, squeezing him towards the sideline. If he was going to catch that ball, it was going to be out of bounds. So great defensive play right there by Chase Harrington.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. North Catholic up 24-14 on a homecoming Friday night. Smith looking to pass, and Marbella almost gets him in the background. A pump fake and a heave way down the field, and Good defense by East Allegheny there.
Yeah.
That was going to be intercepted by, I think it was Straub there.
Yeah, good. Sometimes your receiver, you got to flip to the defensive side of the ball real quick. Great play. I am just blown away by Mike Smith, man. He is really just carrying this East Allegheny offense on his back, making something out of nothing. Like I mentioned, the classic pump, fake, and run of Vince Young in 05. Give me shades of that, faking out, 2-3 defenders. So really kudos to this young man. Hopefully he gets to play at the next level because I think he can definitely do it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pump fake again there at the end of that play. Instead, he just chucked it as far down the field as he could. Unfortunately, Smith is down at about the 40-yard line on the field. I really hope that, maybe from a North Catholic fan perspective, you'd be okay with him missing the fourth quarter. But just as a football fan, I want to see him out there on the field. He's just an electric player.
And you never want to see a young man get hurt. Injuries aren't fun. It's always, these kids sometimes only have 4 years to play football. Some of them might not get past, their senior year of high school. I mean, that was the case for me. I never played a down of football past my senior year of high school. But so you want them guys to have that opportunity, to play. It always breaks my heart when I see a kid in a big old cast or a sling not getting a chance to play the game. So you really hope he's all right and he can get back in this game. And at a worst case scenario, maybe he misses the rest of this game and comes back next week.
Yeah, and warming up on the sideline. Can you guess what number? Don't look over there. What number do you think is warming up for East Allegheny? 5.
6'5".
The guy who threw the wide receiver pass.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes every year you just say who could throw a football. You have a couple quarterbacks, and some guys you kind of find out via warm-ups. Say you could toss it a little bit. That's the thing about high school. So, there's not always a defined depth chart. Sometimes your backup quarterback doesn't always come in as your backup if your starter goes down. You might pull a receiver or a running back or someone you trust with the ball in your hands to go in and run the offense.
And boy, this is going to be a what do you call here if you're East Allegheny? The only thing preventing you from taking a 10-yard sack every single pass play has been Mike Smith, and now he's not in the game anymore.
Maybe dial up another trick play or maybe a quick screen.
Let's see if East Allegheny.
Or you just snap and chuck as far as you can and hope for the best.
Yeah, let's see if East Allegheny goes for one of those options here. And nope, it's a high snap, but the guy catches it and makes Tyler Primrose miss, and then he's flattened by Seamus Straub at the end.
Not exactly the ideal first play if you're a quarterback coming into the game. Once again, field snap, though, makes a bad thing not as bad by just at least getting a hold of the ball, holding on to it.
So it's going to be 4th and 15, end of the third quarter.
And
that's the end of the third quarter play. Your score after 3, the Trojans 24 and Trojan 14.
So we started this half with Alex Brown detailing some things that really went wrong for in the first half for North Catholic. What has turned this game around in the third quarter, Darren?
A lot of things went wrong for East Allegheny. It's really been a case of misery loves company, and this time East Allegheny's having some trouble with some snaps, with some technical aspects of the game. So that's why we're seeing North Catholic on top, and North Catholic's executed when they needed to.
Yes, they've only snapped one ball over the head of their quarterback compared to, I think, 4 this half for East Allegheny. And the North Catholic defense has really, really been good.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when East Allegheny has completed a snap, they're just always in the backfield. They're swarming Mike Smith. They're giving East Allegheny no time and space.
They're not letting him think. They're making him make reaction plays instead of, see what's out there and go with it.
So we are at the final 12 minutes here in this game. At the half, you saw the homecoming court come out. Sienna Caza as the freshman, Annie Schluppe as the sophomore, Amanda Esser as the junior, and the seniors were Faith Benson, Ava Smith, Jaden Sharpless, Quinn Beitler, Scarlett Grill, and Gia Sircone. Quinn Beitler won homecoming queen.
Some trickeration going on here.
It looks like a fake punt here, perhaps, from East Allegheny. No, it's just a pooch kick from the quarterback. He boots it down, takes a nice roll to the 35-yard line. And that's where North Catholic will take over with their offense. I was saying Quinn Beitler won homecoming queen. I don't know if you've had the chance to have Quinn in class.
I have not yet. I have a couple nominees and the sophomore nominees in my class currently, but I have not had a queen yet.
I had Quinn when she was a freshman in Algebra 1, and she joined the tennis team a couple of years ago after playing volleyball for a few years. She's really wonderful, very great teammate in tennis. She starts and plays second doubles for us on the tennis team. And hopefully she's going to come through with a big win for us on Monday after her homecoming.
That'd be a heck of a week
tonight, because we need to win Monday to clinch the playoffs. And there's another high snap. Prentice spins around, gives it to Topinski. Topinski sprinting to the outside, but he's caught by several East Allegheny defenders and dragged to the ground.
Yeah, once again, it's the high snaps on both sides of the ball. It can really just cripple an offense, especially when the timing of the handoff is so integral, you know.
Should they just have Prentice line up a couple yards further behind the line of scrimmage?
And then you might have some falling at his feet. I mean, we've seen some good ones too, but you know, you don't want to. Then you have your running back then lining up a couple yards deeper, a couple yards to get to the line of scrimmage as well. So.
Yeah, Prentice has done a nice job catching those snaps, and when they have been good, they probably have resulted in lots of good plays for North Catholic. Prentice sends Straub in motion. Great snap there. Straub's got a little bit of room, cuts it up to the middle of the field, makes another guy miss. And again, Liam Straub in slow motion. He's gained 7 or 8 yards. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I said just very shifty, some good blocking, good seals over there. Kind of, you know, you really couldn't get the hook block for that outside run. So if you can't get the hook block, you just push him out the way as far as you can. Give him that cutback lane, in which he took advantage of.
Yeah, good job reading the blocks by Straub, and this is a manageable third down now, 3rd and 4. Two tight ends again for North Catholic. Prentice trying to get East Allegheny offside, doesn't work, hasn't worked all night. Fennell and Straub, it looks like, are out wide to Harrington in the backfield, excuse me. And Prentice is going to keep it. Darts up the middle, makes one person miss. He's got the first down, and he's across midfield.
Oh, looking up a little lame after that, after the pause.
And I wonder if Prentice is cramping too. But Joey Prentice wants to leave the game the least out of any football player that I've ever seen.
Yeah, he is. You have to sometimes drag him off that field.
It looked like he was about to just like topple over on the sideline from a cramp. But he's out there, and one of his legs doesn't look like it's bending at all.
I really hope they can have a nice clean snap just to give them the easy handoff there, or easy pass if they so choose, not make him do too much trying to jump up and grab it, because I'm not sure how his jumping ability would be with a calf cramp.
Let's see what happens here. Primrose, snap, good snap. Hand off to Harrington. Harrington met immediately by East Allegheny.
They got the snap that time, just the blocking wasn't quite there.
Yeah, East Allegheny's run defense has been very good, especially in the interior.
Yeah, number 2, is it Malik?
Makai Mitchell.
Makai Mitchell, definitely cleaning up a whole lot. He's just a big, solid kid with some speed and range. And I told you that 4-eye technique really kind of just mucks up the middle. It's hard to clear those defensive linemen out, so it's really letting him to come over and make plays. And let's not forget, like, the outside linebackers from Allegheny do have a lot of speed, which kind of forces you to kind of sometimes cut inside.
Fennell is in motion. And that looked very, very out of sync. Probably going to be a false start in North Catholic.
False start on a Trojan.
North Catholic is pointing at East Allegheny as well.
Did you ever notice when someone jumps, it's never the team's fault? No one ever says, yeah, I totally jumped on that play. It's always pointing at the other side.
Sometimes you see somebody put their head down, but I agree. There is a lot of finger pointing.
You know, they say, Sean, about finger pointing. If you point one finger, you have 3 pointing back at you.
Second and 17 now. Prentice gets the ball. He's going to keep it. He's got some room up the middle. Can he get to the outside? He tries. And there's going to be a penalty. I think that's J.J. Iaquinta. Late hit out of bounds. And that was almost going to be a first down for North Catholic. And it's kind of a silly play there from Iaquinta.
I think we had a late hit on East Allegheny, because definitely tackled them a little late there as well. So I'm kind of curious to see how they figure this out. I'd love to see North Catholic take a shot out of this power set, though. You see the front seven definitely creeping up. You see one high safety. I'd love to see, Robbie Kress or Daniel Long just kind of hit that seam and see if we can maybe hit him, napping, thinking the run's coming.
They are offsetting. So you were right there that there was a penalty on each side. Now, does that play stand on the offsetting penalty?
No, I believe they replay the down.
That was going to be almost a first down there, so that takes away a 15 to 17 yard gain from North Catholic. Unfortunate offsetting penalties there.
Penalty negates the play, back to 2nd and 17 for the Trojans.
Second and 17. We're back where we were a couple seconds ago. 9:01 left to go in this game. Topinski gets the handoff. He's cutting up the middle, a spin move. He's carrying defenders with him. They finally pile him up at the 39-yard line.
Sean, it's kind of indicative of the game when you say, oh, 2nd and 17, doesn't look that bad at all.
Yeah, we've seen some ridiculous down and distance situations. Topinski, another powerful inside run. I really like what I've seen from him at the running back position in this game.
Last year, I felt he definitely wanted to get outside, and I don't blame him with his speed, but this year he's definitely kind of evolved as a runner, definitely willing to get his nose up in there and make some tough runs. And with a guy his size, it's a very useful weapon to have.
Now we are in a fairly manageable 3rd and 6. Fennell is in motion. Prentice is going to give it to Fennell, and Fennell is tackled immediately. 3 or 4 yard loss. It'll be 4th and 10, and the North Catholic punt team is running on the field.
It really looks like what the defense is doing on those jet motions. They're going to force Joey Prentice to beat him on the QB runs. They don't want a guy with a running start with the ball in his hands to kill him. So it looking like they're staying committed to stopping that jet.
Yeah, when Prentice has kept the ball, he has done pretty well tonight. But I guess he saw something that he wanted to give Fennell the ball there. It doesn't work that time, but North Catholic, if you're thinking about the field position game, they've got another chance to pin East Allegheny pretty deep here. Long boots it away. It's going to be bouncing into the end zone almost. Muffed punt, and East Allegheny, I think, falls on it, but at the 5-yard line. Yeah. Wonderful punt there.
Wonderful punt, see? Nice, great, clean punt. Hopefully not a clean catch. But speaking of clean, Sean, shameless plug real quick. The North Catholic Wrestling team will be having a car wash this Sunday at Advanced Auto Parts in Cranberry, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have a lot of guys on the football team that also double as wrestlers in the winter season. So if you have the chance and you have the time and you want to get your car nice and clean, come on out to Advanced Auto Parts in Cranberry and get your car cleaned.
All right. Yeah, you heard it from Darren. Go support some North Catholic teams. As you said, there are who is on your wrestling team?
Daniel Long is one of our wrestlers. Justin Smith is one of our wrestlers. I might pick up some underclassmen that are going to be new to the team as well this year. So I'm excited about the upcoming season. So Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Advanced Auto Parts in Cranberry. Come out and support some of these football players that also doubles wrestlers in the off season.
Smith has not been able to come back in the game, the East Allegheny quarterback. Instead, it is number 5. I'm not. Can you get us a name for their new quarterback, Darren?
Number 5. Yeah, sorry, we don't have a paper roster, ladies and gentlemen. That is Michael Cahill. It looks like a 10th grader.
So Michael Cahill, he threw that trick play wide receiver pass earlier in the game. He's doing the passing for East Allegheny. And they seem pretty confident letting him throw the ball. He's been back trying to throw all 3 of the snaps that he's been in there, and he's looking to throw here. Cahill from his own end zone, pump fake, and throws it 6 or 7 yards out of bounds.
That's it. Pressure again, can't have a clean throw, just don't want to take the safety here, don't want to have a short sack in the end zone. This is a big defensive play for North Catholic. I feel if they could definitely come away here without giving up any extra yardage and force a punt in the end zone, I think they're going to be sitting real well up 10 with roughly 6 minutes left with good field position.
I think there's a good chance they block this punt. if East Allegheny loses any yardage here or doesn't gain any more yardage. This just seems like the area of the field that's really hard to kick from for high school kickers. So North Catholic, if they can stonewall them, not only just not let up a first down, but just no yards, I like our chances of getting maybe a safety or a very short field. Cahill only gets 2-3 yards out of the end zone, so you're not going to be able to snap the ball back a full. I think 15 yards is about how far back you snap it on a punt. Does that sound?
I know
right?
field goals are 7. I want to say punts are 12 to 15 in that range. So once again, end zone's 10 yards. You know, your back hills might be on the white line back there.
Yeah, Cahill, who was their quarterback, is also their kicker, and he's going to have to punt this one. He does not have a lot of room. He's maybe he's not very far back behind the line of scrimmage, maybe 3 yards deep in the end zone. Here's the punt. He does get it away, and Straub gets it. There's no one within 10 yards of him when he catches it. He's got the sideline. Straub to the 20. Straub makes the guy miss. He's inside the 10. He's twirling down to the 5-yard line.
Very shifty. I mean, I've been waiting all season to see Liam Straub with some open field to work with, because he is so hard to tackle one-on-one in the open field. So it's nice to see him really get that opportunity this game, because like I said, he doesn't blow you away with quickness or speed, but he just is so hard to be brought to the ground.
And that's three separate times tonight, really. We've seen him with the ball in space, and he's made very good things happen every single time.
Another
there was
flag
a flag on that play, which I feel like I've said that about 50 times tonight.
Yeah, I think we're running at least a 50% clip at penalties per play. So big offensive drive here. You know, if you come away with a touchdown, you know, even unless it's on the first play, you're looking at maybe 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes left, up by 17, maybe even less than 4. This could be a great opportunity to melt some clock, get this game out of reach.
Yeah, East Allegheny's inability to move this ball definitely, as a 2-score game, it feels fairly out of reach, but a 3-score game would be that much further out of reach for the Wildcats. And this is a big game. I mean, this is still early in the season. As Prentice, quarterback keeper, up the middle, spin move, another spin move, 2 spin moves, gets inside to about the 10-yard line. I was saying this is kind of early in the season, but these are probably the best 2 teams in the conference.
Yeah.
And they're meeting in their second game of the season. So this is a really big game for North Catholic, and it's been nice to see them respond with a pretty dominant second half.
Yeah, especially after the rough first half, especially getting punched in the gut right at the end of the half. To come back, just play your game, take opportunities when they're given. It's really nice to see.
Wide receivers for North Catholic, Daniel Long in at tight end, and Kyle Topinski in the backfield, smelling that end zone perhaps. The handoff to Topinski, he's met immediately by 2 or 3 players, and he's not going to be pulled to the ground, but they blow dead anyway.
But the clock continues to move.
Yeah, good point, Darren. We're getting down to about 5 minutes left in the game here, and North Catholic holding on to that 10-point lead.
I mean, at this stage of the game, the conservative play probably is the right play. I mean, keep in mind, yes, the score is 24-14, but North Catholic's defense has only given up 7 points all season. And the play was very, I hate to say wonky, but it looked very lucky and you know, a total mental lapse by the North Catholic defense. So you got to put faith in the defense to keep this lead as is and play the clock game here.
Prentice immediately with a quarterback keeper, bounces off the line, powering through down to the 2 or the 3 yard line. Prentice has been great on those quarterback keepers tonight,
yeah,
especially in the second half.
He has been probably the most effective, consistently runner they've had all game, and that's the beauty of having a quarterback that can run. It's instead of having him just be a person that hands the ball off, you have 10 blockers out there on the field creating holes for him. It's someone you have to account for.
Has North Catholic completed a pass in the second half?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know Alex Brown mentioned at halftime that they had only completed that 1 pass to Liam Straub over the middle, and I can't think of a pass that they have completed in the second half.
But the offense is moving with some consistency. That's all you want. I mean, it kills the clock. You know, the great Ohio State coach Woody Hayes once said, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. So maybe sometimes they're just trying to, move the ball slowly but surely, kill this clock, come away with the victory.
So it's going to be 3rd and probably 1 here from the 3-yard line. Prentice gets the high snap. He's going to keep it, and he's not going to get that first down. He's tackled by a bunch of East Allegheny Wildcats at the 5-yard line.
Let's see if they try to make this a 2-touchdown game with the field goal, if they're going to try to keep the offense on the field to really try to dagger it here.
And there is no move to bring anybody on special teams in. 4th and 4. A field goal here, as you said, makes it 2 touchdowns. It's still a 2-score game, but you need 2 touchdowns instead of a touchdown and a field goal, as you would right now in the 10-point game. And cheerleaders below us right now urging everyone to do the Trojan Rumble. And hopefully Joey Prentice, maybe quarterback keeper, do you think, is going to rumble right into the end zone?
We finally got a jump on it. You know what Wayne Gretzky once said, Sean. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And another person, wise man, once said, if you first do not succeed, skydiving probably isn't for you. But if you do not succeed, try again. So finally getting that penalty, making this 4th down more manageable.
Is that only a half distance to the goal?
Yeah, I believe if it's less than 5, it's a half distance. But you're looking at 4th and 3 instead of 4th and 6.
Yeah, it's going to be about 4th and 1 again. It's really from the same spot on the field that they had the previous snap. This is almost, I would say, QB sneak territory.
Yep.
But North Catholic is going to take his time out.
East Allegheny, they're making sure they get the whatever defense they want to get. 2 yards for a QB sneak is it's pushing the outer limits of it.
It looks like a long 2.
A
short 2 to me, but I would agree.
I wouldn't be totally opposed to it either, though, because even if you don't get it, you're forcing East Allegheny with their backup quarterback to go 99 yards. So, it's probably your safest play in the book. You have, might not be the best chance of getting 2 yards, but it'll keep it, safe.
And there are 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter here. North Catholic has a timeout.
After the timeout, 4th and 1 for the Trojans.
4th and a long 1 yard. Interesting formation here for North Catholic. 3 tight ends, really.
It's basically the shotgun equivalent of the tight, strong eye.
Long fullback. Great block from Daniel Long, and Kyle Topinski coasts into the end zone.
Yeah, great power running. We often think about, North Catholic with their spread offense, throwing the ball over the top, people running through lanes. But sometimes you just got to put your hand in the dirt and push forward and use the fullback. And Daniel Long does a great job lead blocking for Kyle Topinski there, and that's a lot of beef back there to try to stop. So great offensive drive finisher there for the North Catholic Trojans.
Now, a lot of times now in high school and even college, you don't see those power running formations work, but it sure did there. And here's the snap. Marcinko's kick is up and good. Marcinko's 3 for 3 on kicks tonight, and it's 31-14. And Darren, the offense did exactly what you wanted them to there with that drive when you started talking about it when we had maybe 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you melt some clock, and you only have 3 minutes left to make up a 3-score game at this point. So, that's exactly what you want. We've probably all seen it probably on social media. One of those 21 points in a minute comebacks, but those aren't very common. So you put yourself in a really good position to win the game here.
Yeah, East Allegheny, a pretty valiant effort tonight. They really had North Catholic on the ropes, especially at halftime. They had a 14-10 lead, and we talked about it. You could tell they had all this confidence coming out in the second half. And then they started snapping the ball over the quarterback's head, and it really went against them.
I'm just wondering, with the lack of numbers, are they getting tired out there? Sometimes your technique breaks down and you get tired. A lot of those guys have been playing almost every play.
Yeah, they can't have many more than 20 players on their team. Of course, they've got 11 players on the field, and there might be 14 or 15 players on the sideline.
Yeah, they maybe just have enough to practice an offense versus a defense, and maybe one extra guy standing on the side.
Long kicks it away from the 40, deep down the middle of the field. Picked up by East Allegheny at about the 10. Running to his right is number 21, their returner. He's met by Cannon
Big
at about
hit
the
by
30.
Tyler Cannon.
Cannon got the big hit and then just was tearing at that ball, trying to get it out. .252 left in the game. From our perspective here, we see the North Catholic band starting to bring their materials out. They are going to perform after the game, and we will bring that to you after post-game wrap-up, post-game interview. We really encourage you to stay on the broadcast and watch the band perform.
Another personnel issue with East Allegheny here. 5-yard penalty for too many men on the field.
First and 15 from the 25-yard line for East Allegheny. Quarterback Michael Cahill in there. He gets the high snap, hands it off quick, and a burst of speed from the East Allegheny running back. Gets up over the 30, close to the 35. First down for East Allegheny. Oh, no, sorry, not a first down. It was about a 10-yard gain, but they forgot about that penalty.
Great open field tackle by Gavin Comedy, just breaking down, wrapping up, not letting that play go for big, because that's one thing East Allegheny needs is a big play right now to possibly try to get back in this.
Clock had stopped briefly when they set the ball, and now it is rolling again. We are heading quickly towards just 2 minutes left to play. And another penalty. When it's there, you got to think it's on East Allegheny.
Yeah, maybe
some
a
sort of
late
false
game
start.
or a false start. Comparing our two broadcasts, Sean, East Allegheny, I feel actually the plays were better. They just had a lot of these mistakes much often like North Catholic. I thought, they definitely had some moments there where they executed well. Just the penalties, much like North Catholic does from time to time, just kills them. I felt Blackhawk was much more controlled by North Catholic, and some errors on North Catholic's part kept them in this game. East Allegheny hung in there with their own play.
Yeah, this has been a very sloppily played game from both sides. But North Catholic, just like they did with Blackhawk, finding a way to win, and it's nice to see them win these close games. As a broadcasting duo, we haven't seen very many close games, so we certainly want these games to be cleaner. I mean, way at the top of the broadcast in the pregame show, they talked about limiting penalties, which certainly hasn't been a thing, and limiting turnovers or just mental mistakes, which we've seen a lot of from both teams. But North Catholic has persevered, and they're getting closer and closer to wrapping this one up, as we are under 2 minutes now, 31-14. North Catholic up by 17. And almost some more broken tackles there, but I think that's Seamus Straub holding on to Marshall of East Allegheny and bringing him down.
I mean, with the play calls I'm seeing from East Allegheny at this point in the game, it looks like they realize they're down by 17. It doesn't look like they're going to come back in this game. It looks like maybe just trying to focus on some good execution. Like sometimes if you're down in a game real bad, just hey, let's run a couple good plays. Let's build something for next week. Let's look at film for something for next week. Let's hit some of our safest plays, our most well-known plays, so we feel good about something, building for next week's game. So we're really not seeing a whole lot of shots. We're seeing a lot of inside handoffs. And
as we wind towards 1 minute, snap over the quarterback's head, and he's going to try to pick it up. He doesn't get it. And Seamus Strom's got it. Seamus Strom trying to make a move, and he didn't want to be ruled down. He goes into the end zone, but he was tackled at about the 5-yard line.
Nice scoop and score attempt there. Just didn't have the gas to break away for the touchdown. I guess that's why he got moved to offensive lineman.
Offense back out there, under a minute to play, and we would like to remind you that our next football broadcast will be Friday, October 15th, from right here at the Mars Athletics Complex. The Trojans will meet up with Deer Lakes in another Allegheny 7 conference matchup. Catch the Trojan Game Day starting at 6:40 p.m. with kickoff scheduled for 7. You can catch all the action right here on the North Catholic Sports Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. That's going to be our next broadcast on Friday, October 15th. And as for this broadcast, it is wrapping up with a North Catholic kneeling the ball down, and they're going to escape this game with a 31-14 win. 17 points. Certainly didn't look like it was going to be that comfortable a margin of victory at halftime when North Catholic was down by 4. But they've persevered again here in this game, Darren, as this kneel is going to end the game.
Yeah, I mean, they took advantage of mistakes by their teams. I mean, I've seen in the past where, we'll make a mistake, then another team makes a mistake, and somehow, the other team comes out with a better situation. Maybe they scoop and score. Maybe they fall on a fumble while we don't. And this time you have to take advantage of those mistakes, and they absolutely did that this time. That's part of growth of this football team. So capitalize on those mistakes, and it's kind of crazy. We said we didn't sure they pull it out when you have a 17-point win, but it's really nice to see them capitalize on opportunities given to them. Do some good things. We saw a more efficient offense in the second half, so it's nice to see those things and something to build off moving forward.
Yeah, North Catholic, excellent second half. They outscore East Allegheny 21-0 in the second half as both teams go for the handshake line. We would like to remind you to stay tuned after Darren and I are off to just watch the North Catholic band perform on homecoming night. But also, we're going to kick it down to the field in just a minute or so here to have Ryan Barry interview Kyle Topinski, who, along with Joey Prentice, was really the star of that second half. And it looks like the handshake is almost done. Kyle Topinski is right over there by Ryan Barry. So let's send it down to Ryan Barry and Kyle Topinski.
I'm out on the field with Kyle Topinski after a 2-touchdown, 1-interception performance. Kyle, thank you for taking time to talk to me.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, after the slow start, how were you guys able to get back into the game, get some stops on defense, and get back in it?
We just practiced our practice. What am I going to say? Coach got at us, and, we got to fix our mistakes. We just play 11 as one, Yep. We got to do our part, and we did.
Yeah, when you guys had those on special teams, how important was that to the flow of the game, get the energy back?
Oh, man, that was perfect, man. That gave us the energy back, man. Look at the scoreboard.
With that interception, then the next play, how big was that to get the momentum back? It seemed to be the change of the game, the play of the game right there.
Oh, I felt amazing. To pick that ball, man, that was everything to me. And now we get the dub. That's all that matters now.
Lastly, how big is it to get this win on homecoming in front of a great crowd here?
It's crazy. I can't wait to have fun tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go celebrate the night.
Well, thank you for talking to us.
Sir.
Great game. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, great interview there from Ryan Barry with Kyle Topinski, talking about his great second half. What do you think was the play of the game tonight for North Catholic?
Absolutely, that pick by Kyle Topinski. I mean, even more, I feel, than even professional football, high school football is a game of motion and momentum, and giving them life, putting that ball in a very good position to score. Really just energizing. I mean, you could tell at the end of the first half, North Catholic kind of had their heads hung, bad, sloppy play to end it. But getting the energy, making a big play for themselves, and putting in position to kind of change the momentum really was the game breaker for me.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That Topinski pick was followed almost immediately by his 5-yard touchdown run, his first of 2 touchdown runs in the second half. And that put North Catholic on top to stay 17-14. So Kyle Topinski with that great interception. And that was with about 6 minutes left in the third quarter, where East Allegheny couldn't get anything going offensively, but neither could North Catholic. And Topinski just made a great play, as you said, a tip drill, and that sets up his touchdown run. North Catholic, it's a 1-yard touchdown. Next, we almost had another lineman touchdown. That was
So
Tyler
close.
Primrose recovering a botched snap, and then Topinski ends things up with 3:01 left in the fourth quarter, capping off the scoring with a 3-yard touchdown run to make it 31-14. So North Catholic will move to 6-0 on the season, 2-0 in section. East Allegheny is 1-1 in the section and 2-3 overall. So big win tonight for North Catholic in terms of their goal. Like step one, win your conference. And I think they went a long way to doing
Absolutely.
that tonight with their win. And again, our next football broadcast is going to be Friday, October 15th from right here at the Mars Athletic Complex. So for Jaron Lyles, this is Sean Malone signing off, and stay and watch the band, everybody. Have a great night.
Marching band. This year, the band takes you into the world of your dreams. Under the direction of drum major Ellie Armitage, we're presenting our 2021 program, It Was Only a Dream. So please welcome to the field the North Catholic High School Trojan Marching Band.
including those from the Cincy's Pizzeria, and Rushmore Tower. We thank you for all your continued support, and go Trojans!
Broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL. Any broadcast of this game is intended exclusively for the benefit of the North Catholic Sports Network audience. Any use, rebroadcast, or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of the WPIAL is prohibited.